Melatonin and Red Bull. That's what the doctor ordered. You saying hi? Yeah. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, so did you just say you're speedballing with melatonin and Red Bull?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I
he
said.
did.
Christ. Man, you gotta have an iron heart or something.
My heart doesn't like me, so
I used to do that with vodka and Red Bull.
there we go.
More fun.
No.
Four Locos. I drank some of those before.
No.
You ever mixed all 4 flavors together and made a 12 Loco?
No.
Or mixed it with a Steel Reserve and made a Sidewalk Slammer.
Woo! Yeah, we make mixed drinks with our Steel Reserve and 4 Loco.
I don't drink either. I've just seen it happen.
I don't drink.
Witness only.
She's so cute.
Thank you. She has her mother's personality.
Aw.
All sweet.
Thank you for joining us today. This is the For We Are Many podcast. I see that the title is wrong. So that Restream did not update that when I updated it earlier. It is obviously not the 15th, and we are not just talking about the movement for justice for Duante Wright. We actually have quite a bit to cover today, including but not limited to the Chauvin trial. The jury started deliberating today. The closing arguments happened. The defense spouted a bunch of bullshit. We'll get to all that in a little bit. We're going to be talking about the unrest pertaining to that. We're going to be talking about the unrest pertaining to the movement for justice for Duante Wright. We're going to be talking about Adam Toledo. We're going to be talking about the Knoxville school shooting that wasn't really a school shooting. It was a cop shooting a black kid in the bathroom. We'll get to that in a little bit.
I didn't hear that.
And let's see, what else was there? There's a bunch of other stuff. We're talking about a lot today. Anyway, I am your host and comrade, Rob, and welcome to the For We Are Many podcast.
My mother-in-law says hello.
What's up, Trisha? Hostess with the mostest rant. The Zen motherfucker. Trying to keep my Zen through all the shit that makes me go, motherfucker! Don?
Next.
Hello. I'm Don.
Good
I
news.
have a couple of messages. First and foremost, Elon, buddy, listen. The videos, the 8-track cassette tapes, the emails, the letters, they'll all stop. The pictures won't stop. I need to remind you and Jeff who's really in charge. But the pictures will stop if you donate. If you donate to our Patreon stream. Also, any listeners out there, I am happy to announce we've ratified it today. We are figuring out the prices, but we will have our limited edition 100 print Tucker Carlson sucks flaccid penis t-shirts. Our merch will be available in the near future. We have ideas for other shirts. Some of them are dedicated to Elon. Elon, buddy, we know you fuck your cars. Cat's out of the bag.
We're making a t-shirt out of it.
Anyway, I'm Don. I'm Don. Thank you for letting me plug our merch real quick. Moving on, Austin, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Austin, the Radical Patton. I will be running for Congress in 2024 under the Green Party in Pennsylvania's 16th district. Hopefully, I will get elected. If not, I'm hoping to motivate other people to run for offices. And that is all.
I just wanna take a moment to say thank you to James and Natalie and Darian in the comments for participating. As always, we want to know what you think as well. That's what the purpose of interacting with the comments is. So if you want to say something about what we're talking about, by all means, go ahead. James said Tesla self-driving crash on the news earlier. Better just donate, Mr. Musk. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he would stop fucking his cars.
Anyway, that's patreon.com/forwearemany. Of course, we have our website, forwearemany.org. We're on YouTube for We Are Many Podcast, Twitter @forwearemany2, Instagram for We Are Many Podcast, TikTok for We Are Many Podcast, and of course, most of you come to us on Facebook through our events for this, but the events are held by the page. If you don't already like the page, feel free to click the button and like the page. We also have our support group. Actually, that group has been really active lately, and it's kind of exciting. Anyway, that's my shameless self-promotion, and our first segment today is going to be women's rights. Feel free to take it away, Trisha.
Just a second while I get my phone to cooperate and pull the article back up here. Sorry, it's not cooperating, even though I'm in the house with full Wi-Fi. Pull it up. Look at
The coughing is
You
the
can do it.
chronic.
Yeah, I hear the torch.
Yeah, just to clarify, we are smoking Michigan's best, that pure Michigan right now.
right.
Welcome to the party, Dean.
Right. Hello.
The great and powerful Dean Paxton.
The wizard has arrived.
Ladies, gentlemen, and my non-binary comrades.
Are we
Our
good
leader
right now
is
for a
here.
minute?
I'm good.
Oh my God, and Lord Sterling, we got a full house tonight.
Okay, how about we let them say hello then? Well,
Yeah.
while
Dean and Sterling, go ahead and introduce yourselves when you're ready.
Hello? Did you say introduce yourself?
Yeah.
What up? My name is Sterling. I literally just got here.
Yeah.
Howdy.
What? You know what?
All right.
being
Hey, everybody. It's Dean.
As always, with the stellar background.
Bro.
It is really good.
Oh shit, the economy is pretty bad, huh?
oh my goodness.
We got Lord Sterling, our top voodoo economic or economist. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Saying
I
that
like
right?
that. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be my new career path.
Voodoo economics.
Oh, yeah. Doge.
Doggy.
Doggy.
Dog.
Duh.
I mean, according to dictionary.com, it's Doge. So
Thank you, Rob.
that's what I've been saying for fucking 5 years, and I've never heard
Doge
doggy.
like a
Coin
fool.
has a doggy on it.
All I know is y'all
Yeah.
better not let it fucking collapse before I can buy in, okay?
This is going to the moon, bro.
To the
I've kind of been like toying around with it, you know, like buying low, selling high. I originally bought in for $90 at 18 cents. And, you know, right now it's sitting over 40 cents. But like, you know, I bought in at 18, sold for 25, rebought it for 22, you know, so on and so forth. I've been doing that for a few days. That, I did dump another $30 into it when it was low. Was it yesterday? I think it was down to like 27.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah. So I've put in a grand total of $120, and I'm sitting at over 300 today. So
Listen,
Yeah, dude.
listen. The end goal is to be able to buy mom a modular to put on this property, so she's not living in this 1970s trailer.
That's all
Keep
our
it
power.
going. Keep it rolling, guys.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
we're gonna hold the door, man. Hodor.
the glass memorial that I had made with my mom's ashes shipped today.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I just got the notification for that, so that's pretty cool.
I better be the first person you call when you see it, motherfucker.
I mean, I'm probably gonna send a picture of it to the group chat.
It's been a year since that lady tried to save that guy in Walmart.
Trying to help you, motherfucker.
Trying to help you,
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah.
You fucking accuser.
Motherfucker.
I hope she's doing all right.
Oh, whatever.
We saw a video of her the other day.
Anyway,
No.
I was just announcing the beginning of the women's rights segment when Dean and Sterling showed up.
Oh, women's rights. Trisha, you're
Oh
up.
yes, back to women's rights. This peace process is about women's rights, says the Afghan female negotiators. They're pushing for more representation in their government. They told the members of Congress at a recent event the benchmarks for a successful political settlement with the Taliban require female participation. Fatima Jalani, Fawzia Kufi, Habiba Sarabi, and Sharifa Zermati were the only female members of a 21-member negotiating team to attend peace negotiations talks in Doha, Qatar in 2020, but just one, Habiba Sarabi, was invited to the most recent summit in Moscow in March of this year. In a joint statement on Tuesday, the UN, the Republic of Turkey, and the state of Qatar said that they are co-convening a high-level and inclusive conference from the 24th of April to the 4th of May this year. And the warning the women gave them comes from the International Summit on the Future of Afghanistan. It's starting later this month. It's unclear who all the participants of the summit are going to be, but they're speaking up now because they need to have more seats there and actually have a say in what's going on in their own damn country. Giving women a seat at every decision-making table is imperative, but not sufficient. They must be treated as active and equal participants in shaping Afghanistan's future. Anything less would undermine peace, Romani said. Women are instrumental in creating lasting peace and stability. Any agreement must be reflective of that reality, diversity, and equality. Let's see here. Scrolling past an ad. Kufi, one of the female negotiators, told the members of Congress that women's participation in this process should be the main benchmark for the success of this process. In fact, this peace process is about women's rights. It's about human rights. And as everybody knows, like, that is one of the biggest issues that, they've had to deal with when it comes to Taliban rule, as well as, many other groups like that around there. So the fact that they're making that step forward and actually bringing women in their government there, I give that a thumbs up. I think that's pretty fucking dope. And I like that they can actually speak to their Congress and tell them, hey, we're not being representative enough, without getting their heads chopped off. That's fucking great. So anyway,
That really is progress.
that is.
Yeah,
That
it
is.
truly is.
It's fucked up, the things that, the Taliban was doing to women
Mhm.
specifically, but I mean, they terrorized a lot of people.
Right.
But they're trying to balance this with Biden's promise to pull the troops out,
Right.
and get their own government really fully functional and with a peace agreement with the Taliban that was calling for them to remove themselves from ISIS as well, or at least, not be friends with ISIS anymore. however you want to view that one.
Be
I
their
don't know.
allies.
Right. So I guess we'll see how that one unfolds.
It's kind of like another Fall of Saigon situation, though. Like, that whole war was pointless, man. The whole thing was pointless. We could have
We
sent
made
in
shit
Navy
worse.
SEALs from the beginning to just take out Osama.
But the problem is the way they operate in cells, taking out one person doesn't end what they're doing.
I know,
because
I
they've
know,
got
I know.
independent,
I know. But, like, the whole war just kind of seems pointless to me if they're going to make peace with the
Well,
Taliban.
all wars
Like-
are pointless.
Well, yeah, I gotcha.
Right.
And man
Right.
hasn't figured out yet how to settle things without violence.
Man, Rob, I know you're not around the computer right now, but these beats, I like them.
They're nice.
Dean, you're not saying much. You're just kind of staring off into space. How you doing, bud? You're muted.
Good. Thank you for noticing. And I do like the music as well.
Welcome back, Rob.
And
Howdy.
like memorize that volume. That's the right level.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
well,
too hot,
this
not too
is the
cold.
only stream or the only source that I have found that has the appropriate volume.
Nice.
All of the other ones are super loud in the mix, you know. But
Yep.
like this provider seems to actually like take into account that not everybody's gonna want it super loud. It's one thing if you're playing Call of Duty, but you're probably not going to be listening to this while you're streaming Call of Duty.
Oh, but if you're working or whatever, you know, that's understandable.
So this is going to be a short segment, but I guess this is going to take us into mutual aid. And pretty much I just wanted to use this opportunity to, you know, point out that there are mutual aid groups on the ground in and around Minneapolis that are supplying the protesters with water, food, medical care when necessary or when capable. And that can happen all over the country. If there's going to be protests in your hometown, try to get a mutual aid group or two involved. And that wraps up our mutual aid segment today.
Wow, that was quick.
Okay.
bro.
All right. On that note, I do know that when we were protesting in Oscoda, we had people just stop by all the time and just drop stuff off. So
Water, snacks, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it seems to me that would be a fairly easy thing to accomplish.
Yeah,
Right.
it seems to have been recently pretty easy for people to accomplish. Well, I mean, there's a lot of
Out of
coordination
necessity.
and shit,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Right.
So what's next, Rob?
COVID.
Dean Paxton.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Yeah, Rob, I'd probably spend $1,000 at Wise Guys Pizza.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I hate to begin and end every segment with the same type of information, I guess. But I think we all know that Michigan is one of the most, if not the most, the hottest place in the world right now. And it has been for pretty much 2 weeks straight. We are seeing a bit of a break here, but Michigan is one of the lazy reporting states, which means that they don't really usually report Sundays, so Mondays look horrifying. I'm waiting for, you know, the normal website that I share on this segment is really overloaded, which makes me wonder if something fishy is going on. Really, just bring to your attention that you know, they kind of suspended J&J, which I know a lot of younger people were getting. They seem to target people under 30. because I think the thinking at that time, although I think it was short-sighted and mistaken, the thinking at that time was that, maybe they had a higher immunity. Their infection rates were lower, as you got from 40 down. That's the old variant that we're not dealing with much anymore. These new variants are affecting children. The reality is that I'm kind of glad in one way. I'm happy to see that they responded to concerns from the medical community and concerns from the feedback from their trial testing. I guess 6 cases of kind of pulmonary thrombosis is a serious issue. 6 out of, depending on your source, it's 6 out of 7 million or 9 million. So
I heard 7 million, but
yeah, it may seem like an overreaction, but that's actually a pretty serious matter.
Right.
So, and I'm not surprised that they withdrew. So it has very little to do with it. It has a lower effectiveness, and more to do with the fact that they need to pull it back into trials. It may be 6 months or more before we see J&J again. I don't see AstraZeneca coming here, which is very similar. I still don't see AstraZeneca coming here, maybe by fall. AstraZeneca, if you don't know, a lot of the world is using they're believe it or not, guys, there's about 7 vaccinations that are around the world, including, I think this group of people is aware that Cuba developed a rather effective one on their own, and so did Brazil, but with the help of China. So people are looking at it with a sideways eye. Anyway,
I wanted to just shoot in. You were talking about how these newer variants are, infecting children. Doug Ducey, the governor of Arizona, today rescinded the statewide mask mandate for schools.
Yeah, that's the concern, right? If we're going to insist on face-to-face class and we're going to insist on face-to-face athletics, I'm not a sports person, so I have no idea what sports are coming up now or towards the end of the school year. Hopefully it's little or seldom attended sports that aren't that popular, like golf. I don't know. I would imagine golf and maybe some other things of that nature. Baseball. Yeah, baseball's happening. These are things that I feel better about forcing the kids to play, because basketball was brutal, man. Basketball killed our children. People's insistence and demand to have in-person athletics we paid a human price for that. History will not reflect that in a kind way, in my opinion.
Also,
will be ashamed.
I wanted to point out a little bit of positivity, though. Michigan has over 6 million vaccine doses administered now. Arizona's at 4.5 million, roughly. That should put us, Arizona, that is, at about 2 million people fully vaccinated. Which, when I got my first shot, they had done about 2 million total doses. Now they're at 4.5 million doses. Emily said girls soccer is a spring sport too, and that's pretty close contact.
It's close contact, but we should be able to manage that as an outdoor sport, and as well as the spectators. Indoor arena type activities are brutal, and it was, like I said, we paid the price. Now, on that vaccine note, I would point out that 6,000 doses, 6 million doses in Michigan. What's the number of Arizona?
4.5 million.
Versus, is it about a 9 million population in Arizona?
That sounds about right. Let me Google it.
Pennsylvania got 7 million so far.
The population of Arizona is 7.279 million.
Okay. But so that leaves, still roughly what, 60%, 65% of Arizona is still unvaccinated, which there's work to do. It's good. It's progress. It's good. I'm glad to hear it. There's work to do.
I feel like that's the only thing that we've done right in Arizona is the vaccination programs. But that was put together by the University of Arizona and Arizona State University. That wasn't even directly done by the state.
Mm.
And it's been overseen by the Arizona National Guard. So, I mean, barely done by the state.
Maybe Thursday, if we have a current event stream Thursday, if we're doing something special, I don't know.
It's the Eugene Debs.
Oh, it's Eugene Debs. Well, good. Then by next stream, I will have something ready for the vaccination distribution disparity. And there's some pretty embarrassing things. There's some embarrassing truths to reveal. They're not commonly known. So
I'm not surprised by that, unfortunately.
I'm not. I have the information. I haven't assembled it, and I haven't put a good narrative around it. I would like to be able to present what I found, and build a small picture of. This is a perfect use case whereby I don't want to have drawn a conclusion and then found evidence to support what I've suspected. I want to try to present it as empirically as I possibly can. Same thing I did, a month ago when I said, hold on to the seats. We're going up. the roller coaster is heading up again. So that having been said, I always leave the strong caution or the stern warning to find a vaccine. And if you're not comfortable with a vaccine, stay away from people. This one's ugly. I can attest to that personally. This one's ugly. The strain, and it's predominantly the UK strain, but we're starting to see the Brazilian and South African strains grow. They have very similar infectiousness or infection rate, which is higher than what we've seen previously, and they don't discriminate between young and old like the first version we dealt with did. Or we literally had people, and a great lot of Zennials and Zoomers felt like they were literally immune and didn't care, didn't really try to even observe protocols because they were told that they have a 0.02% infection rate.
I still hear that number thrown out a lot, actually. Being in a red state like Arizona, or you guys in northern Michigan, or Dean, you in Owasso, you get that. Austin,
you got to get an argument. Listen to the science, they say. So, that's okay. I mean, it's kind of minutia, right? Who wants to keep track of arcane named variants? P11, B117, B11119, P1, but it's hard for me to even keep track of, to be honest with you, and what their characteristics are and where their distribution may or may not be. Just know that what we're dealing with now, the strain that is predominant in this country now, is more virulent. The symptoms are worse, and it affects young people. And part of the reason it's affecting young people to such great degrees now is because we were lulled into believing that they were likely safer. So the protocols were built that way, the policies built that way, and we've already exhausted our lockdown initiatives when they weren't really effective. Like I said, we're in our underwear in a blizzard.
I mean, that's really how it seems, and I'm seeing everywhere is rolling back their restrictions. I mean, everywhere in the U.S. anyway. Europe has been a lot more cautious about this from the get-go.
They have. The reason I think that the UK is pulling out is because they went on a pretty hard lockdown. And don't forget, they have a Trump clone as a prime minister. who is a notorious jackass. And
Well
even
said.
he had to admit that, we better shut her down, or, for the good of our people. Other countries like Israel, they 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 put up with no such foolishness. They locked down, they shut the borders, they shut their doors. And they kept calm and carried on. Even though that isn't really what was said, I guess. It's a myth, but I like the idea.
Is that
Offered UBI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. I really thought this might be a pathway to UBI, and ironic. It's ironic, isn't it? Ironic that I thought Donald fucking Trump would possibly be the instrument that finally brought a UBI that was executable to bear.
It wasn't out of the realm of possibility. I would.
No, I think it was. We were on that. He was on that pathway. I mean, listen, I'm no Trump fan. I'm no Trump apologist. I'm no Trump enthusiast. But he's the one that put $2,000 in everybody's mind on his way out the door. The Democrats weren't thinking about that.
Right. I mean, he literally flanked Joe Biden from the left on his way out.
Isn't that something?
It really is.
That's a good way to put it.
And Nancy Pelosi shot it down every chance she got. So,
But he held it hostage for a month or so. However
this is
long
also
that was.
true.
yeah, because I think he's narcissistic. But
Yeah. Well, he's on the way out the door. He's like, "Remember, I was one of you."
yeah, right.
Yeah, and I think that everybody's mindset, despite the fact that we've been wrestling with this thing for 14 months, everybody's mindset has been, okay, you got your stimulus, the relief is just around the corner. Well, no, guys, relief is not just around the corner. I do not see this thing dissipating to any great degree until around 2024.
Our relief is cryptocurrency.
For real, Rob, I swear to God, I didn't put anything in here. But whenever we get to a point where we can freeform a little bit, I would love to take you all through the bank activity over the week.
Let's do.
I mean, why not right now?
Yeah.
If you have something prepared, bro, just fucking go for it.
Well, I wouldn't really call it prepared, but it is definitely something I can run us through.
Well, I'm done anyway, so I absolutely yield my time to my esteemed colleague, Lord Sterling.
Shit. Oh, we can't do a multiple share.
Yeah,
I can.
Yeah.
There you go. Go.
Okay. All right. So, the Wall Street Bets Reddit forum has been pretty much the melting pot, the petri dish for some really weird economic activity that kind of mimics, a social movement. Honestly, the whole GME stock push really exposed a lot of flaws, and I think that was intentional. But the same people have been following the fallout from a lot of the legal issues that were brought up over people, not being able to sell their stocks, or the Robinhood issues. Citadel's been blamed for quite a few things. But over the week, the groups that have been following GME and trying to push its stock, they're kind of a subculture in and of themselves right now. They call each other apes, right? They're holding on to what they assume is going to be some very, very valuable stock. And the intention behind the movement is to transfer a lot of wealth, basically. But over the weekend, members of the community were noticing that Citadel was up throughout the night. And they had suspected that what they were doing, they noticed a lot of traffic, phone traffic. They suspected what they were doing was selling off massive amounts of shares overnight, or at least doing some kind of market manipulation or preparation overnight in regards to the GME stock push. Throughout that night, they realized, as you can see here, other banks were jumping in. Other banks were getting in the fold. Amsterdam Exchange was heating up. Spain was going. Hamburg, Germany, Toronto. Goldman Sachs was possibly joining the Fiesta. I don't know if they ever did. Citadel London, Deutsche Bank, Citadel Chicago. They were all burning the midnight oil. Very, very unprecedented. Why? All at the same time. Well, crypto took a dive very, very, very shortly before or after this, and there was a lot of public speculation on what was causing it. One of the official stories was that there was a power outage across a huge network of computers that was mining Bitcoin. But others speculate that there were market moves by a lot of people that are holding. They wanted to get liquid before something comes out. Something comes out in regards to this GME stock push. I don't really have any solid theories on it, but I think it's really good that we're all kind of aware of it, that literally every bank in the fucking world was lighting up at the same time. I wouldn't push to speculate what it means, but it's definitely something that means something. Sorry.
Indeed.
There's definitely talk among the chats and groups that, you know, there may be some kind of global economic fallout from these types of practices, these hedge funds shorting stock and so forth, and the retaliation that's going to ensue with more socially conscious stock movements, I guess we could call them. We're probably going to see a very similar thing with Doge. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I would highly recommend at least diving in this rabbit hole for yourselves. Form your own opinions. Please let us know. I'm fucking dying to know what's going on. I'm on the edge of my seat.
All I can say is hold the fucking door
Hold the door. Yes.
until we get mom a new house and I get me like 10 acres of land to move my hippies to.
But that's really
The
all.
look on Rob's face is golden.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, you know, as a peripheral bystander, I what can't leave my mind is I see that a lot of the crypto and the investment community in Reddit, which is, Jesus, you're talking like 60 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 600 million Reddit users there are, I forgot what the number is, but it's high. Maybe it's 400 million. Anyway, hedge funds are not emotional. I don't think they're looking for paybacks. I think they're 100% driven by profit motive only.
I would agree to a point.
It wouldn't be the first time, though, that profit being the sole motive led to an economic crisis.
Crisis or some kind of shift. It may be presented as a crisis, but I mean, look, Doge made like 1,300 fucking millionaires in a very short amount of time, and not all those were shitheads, you know.
Sure, no, I roger that. Right, remember,
same thing with GME. That a lot of the sentiment behind GME is very socially conscious.
It
or
is,
at least comrade conscious.
Agreed, but I don't think they care. That's my point.
I will say this.
It's hard to say.
I will say this, Dean, your background, it's been said many times tonight, but your background fits this conversation.
Let me shut myself off. So there you go. So
I mean, but it was almost better with you there because
it was pointing at me.
It's basically
It
what
came
you were
right out of your
saying.
head.
Yeah, it's basically what you're saying.
That's
right
what I was
now.
hoping for. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. I just wanted people to see that it was actually, you know, somebody made this at the start of the coronavirus. But anyway, I didn't make it. But anyway, you know, one thing to remember, and we can shift to, I think between Sterling, Rob, and I don't know, Don, are you doing any crypto right now?
Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now. Not till next month.
I am, though.
We probably could
This is in the
talk
dance.
our listeners through getting started.
Robin Hood.
Before we do that, I do want to say that it might be reasonable to have a Doge primer. One of the reasons I don't feel like Doge is at risk as much as Ethereum or some of the other more serious, I mean, or what's the word I'm
It's
looking
fine.
for? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
accurate.
I guess currencies is that they're not as rare, right? Bitcoin in particular, and most of the other currencies are mathematically limited, whereas Doge is, I mean, it's not impossible, but it'll be hard for us to hit a point where why it's so rare that it grows at the rate that Bitcoin did, or Ethereum is beginning to. Don't forget, Ethereum was garbage. Like what, 2 years ago? Utter garbage. Nobody wanted anything to do with it, you know, because because they, and honestly I still wonder about its security. I still wonder if the reason I avoid Ethereum is I feel like there's a nasty surprise at the end of this party, and I realize that shouldn't prevent people from getting in and out quick, but Ethereum, if you're looking to invest in it, has a higher barrier to entry, right? There's a huge difference between dropping a few hundred to get one that versus 40 cents or 50 or whatever.
Currently 38 cents.
Yeah. So and I do encourage people to mine. You can mine Doge. You don't have to necessarily. It's not easy. It's not an easy pathway to do it, but it is a pathway to free Doge.
I'd be interested in learning how. I have no idea how you would mine Doge. Do you have to know how to code those?
No, you don't have to know how to code it, and you can do it in a number of ways that are not like prohibitive. You don't have to go buy new hardware or anything. You can mine Doge on your laptop. If you're patient, just be patient. You're not going to maybe see it, and you're not going to see the results in overnight. It may take several weeks, and you think, oh, geez, for 30 cents, whatever. But listen, why not? It's a learning experience. It does vest you in the platform and in the mindset of what cryptocurrency is and means, and it does. I think it's a nice lesson, but you may come out of it going, well, shit. Maybe I should invest in some mining gear. Maybe I could make my money back.
Right, it adds up real quick.
Yeah, it adds up real quick.
And especially as with this right now, when I bought in January, it was at 3.5 cents a share.
Wow, good for you.
So this is an enormous difference in what's,
Is it listen, I tell people about what I tell people about cryptocurrency investment is this. How shall I put this?
This is recommended.
Well, there's a lot of things I missed out on. Trust me, different financial things and stuff in the tech industry. It's I could fill a whole show with my missed opportunities because I was a dumbass or I was standing in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think that if you've got something to spare, it can't hurt. I don't go leveraging massive amounts of resources into something that in the hopes that I hope this works or I'm really screwed. Don't do that.
It's gambling.
It's
glorified gambling.
Take your ashtray money out of your car and do that.
Right. I literally bought mine with $25 worth of profits that were off of some other stocks that made some money on, and instead of cashing it out, I just was like, fuck it. I was going to use it to buy some GameStop, but then they blocked the GameStop purchasing during those few days. And this was one of the ones on the list of other stuff they'd been talking about in that Reddit group of, blowing them up. And I was like, fuck it. Investment, solidarity investment, and bought some damn coin.
And don't worry about it. Oh man, I sold too early. I only made $100. Look at people selling now. We're making $1 million. Don't I'll just say this. The only thing harder about figuring out how to get into the latest cryptocurrency scam is figuring out when to get out. So
Right.
Don't worry about it. I think half the reason Doge is through the roof is because people have stimulus checks.
Mm-hmm.
When they're broke again, Doge might take a shit. Who knows?
And Musk.
And Musk, yes. And Musk.
He can't be on TV forever.
So I'll
But,
stop. That's my soliloquy on
Natalie asked if anyone recommended Webull to use as a site for crypto. I don't really know where to start or trust. Like I said, I just use Robinhood. I know Trisha's using Robinhood.
most
I'm
people
using
are.
it as well.
Yeah, most people are.
They had their issues, of course. The whole they took the fucking buy function away for a minute. I mean, it was
Right.
sketchy,
And it
but
still didn't
it's
crash.
definitely the easiest to get into.
Right.
But it's
They literally
definitely-
limited it, so all you can do is sell, and it still didn't crash. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah. But that hasn't happened right now. That's one thing to remember too. Like nothing fucky's going on as of yet. Can we say that tomorrow? I don't know.
No,
There's
tomorrow's gonna
the
be
420 event coming.
No.
We don't know.
They have restricted trading on Doge on Robinhood though. It was
Really?
very brief. Yeah, when that fucking spike to 47 cents happened. Why do you think it stopped?
Oh yeah, there was server issues.
There were server issues. Don't fuck with me like that. Come on.
Well,
That's-
that wasn't even a spike. Just wait. Fuck.
That
Right.
I mean, but it was totally a spike. I
That
bought in that morning at 18 cents, and that was after the spike started.
Yeah.
That shit
If
was a
that-
rocket, bruh. It spiked from like fucking 9 cents to 47 cents in 24 hours. That shit was a spike.
Okay, yeah, that's
So-
a spike. That's
So
a spike.
time out. Before we say, if we just throw, I use Robinhood at her is maybe not helpful. So let's talk about, so that, people who may be looking to do this might have a few steps. By now, I'm sure Natalie and others have Googled Robinhood and maybe they've, so let's talk about, you guys tell your experience about how you got involved and how you do it.
Well, Robinhood is just an app you can get on the Play Store or the Apple Store, right? It's free to join. You just sign up, get your account going with your
Get
email.
one of us up. We'll give you a referral code. We'll get free stock out of it. Why not?
Free stock. You can link your bank account with debit card information alone, but let's say it's Chase, it will link directly to the Chase banking app function and so forth. So you'll need your password information. But if you bank from your phone, or if you have like Zelle and so forth with your bank, then it should be pretty easy process.
PayPal.
But moving money, it will only allow you, let's say you had a couple thousand in your account or whatever that you're wanting to move over. It will only allow you 1,000 at a time until it's cleared. And it can take up to like 5 days for it to clear. If you're not in like a gold membership, if you're just doing this for free run. So 1,000 is probably the limit that you can do.
What's the difference between a free run and a gold membership?
The gold membership has less restrictions on day trading. So it allows you to make more trades during the day, like buy and sell the same stock.
Turnaround trades faster because you pretty
Yeah.
much need instantaneous trades if you're day trading.
And the only way to get into a day trading situation, I believe I read, is to have 25,000 in actual funds. Like it can't be in crypto. I'm not even sure, but it might not be able to be in other stock as well. It has to be free flowing funds. But as we see, day trading is a thing. If you're there, I mean, have fun.
Yeah. I don't know if I have hit a limit. I'm sure I have. Because actually this morning I was seeing that I had a limit buy placed, so that way when it went below a certain price, it would purchase a certain amount.
Mhm.
And it didn't do it. Like I had to cancel the transaction and do it manually. It didn't say that there was any limit, but I think that I hit a limit on the limit trades.
Yeah. And it could get, as it fluctuates more and more, that could be very disadvantageous, just however you want to say that, because there's tax issues as well that I have no knowledge of, that I have no ability to tell you how to navigate that. So if you're like us and you don't have $1 million to throw at it constantly, I'd say just get in on the free app. However much you can transfer over, 1,000's your limit until it clears. That could take a few days. But if you're trying to get in before tomorrow pops off, if it does pop off, this is absolutely not financial advice, but 1,000 would probably be your limit on that. But as we've all said, it's fucking 40 cents right now.
Yeah, and tomorrow has been pushed not just in Wall Street Bets, of course, but all over the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Doge Day. Bye. To the fucking moon.
You work tomorrow, bro?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so we got to break tradition.
They got you working on a holiday? That sucks.
What bullshit is that? Tear
No,
down.
I have Thursday off though. For the stream, you know?
Thursday's not a holiday. Tomorrow's a holiday.
I mean, I know, but I can't afford a 4-day work week.
I mean, tear down the system, ladies and gentlemen.
We're trying.
20's a
Amen.
holiday.
We're trying.
Getting paid holiday leave.
Oh yeah.
Man, I don't know though if it hits 69 cents tomorrow. That's I've been told that's the goal for 420 is to hit
Nice.
69 cents. If that happens, man, maybe some people won't have to fucking go to work tomorrow.
Nice.
Not me. I didn't put that much into it, but
You never know.
Up to afford to take the day off.
oh well, yeah, that's fair.
Where do you guys keep your wallets?
You know,
In my pocket.
crypto wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I only have Robinhood right now. I
Okay.
haven't really branched out.
Yeah, same.
I'd like to eventually.
I think I strongly advise anyone who's using one of the exchanges or using a service like Robinhood to purchase to get your hands on your wallet. These sites are known to be taken down. People have lost their whole wallets. It's not out of the realm of possibility. So for those more seasoned investors, you're probably feeling a little pang of guilt by the words I just said. If you haven't started investing at all, you have no idea what I mean. Maybe if you've got a debit card, if you've got a bank account, if you're a little more, if you got a direct deposit on a regular paycheck, maybe you've got two choices. You can, if you're more of a DIY person, you can get your own software, or they even have hardware wallets. You can get your own wallet, hardware wallet being a USB key that's secured. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, if you lose control of your wallet, you may really be sorry someday. So get control of your own wallet. Perhaps consider, getting on with Kraken or Binance or one of the other exchanges to make your purchases through, rather than in letting Robinhood have a cut of your, rather than giving the man your money, and then, make your investment, do your trading, and pull it out into your own wallet.
We have a live in-person question for you.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is gonna ask you a question.
If I want to invest, do I have to have a wallet? Do I have to go through a wallet? Do I have
No, you can use, in your case, I would strongly advise you to look at Coinbase.
Okay.
I think they're probably the most well-established, stable currency platforms that kind of take all the nerd stuff out of getting your hands on cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
true, but they don't do Doge, do they?
Yeah, they do Doge.
Yeah, they just started.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when I tried to do it like less than a week ago, they had it listed, but you can't purchase it, or at least you couldn't at the time.
Well, that's a good question for Doge, right? I guess I was just talking that. Let me make sure that I'm not wrong about that.
They're also coming out with Doge Dex, which is some kind of peer-to-peer exchange system. So it may be solely for spending your Doge, or it may be, I have no idea, but it may be an opportunity to buy it through there as well. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like it'd be smart to do both if they really wanted to catch on as a spending thing, which is, it sounds like that's ultimately the goal. You know, a few years ago, you started being able to buy random shit with Bitcoin, which, you know, a lot of people did, and then it rocketed. So,
Yeah,
you know, you
you're
just
right.
spent like $2,000 on a bottle of pop, bro.
Yeah.
You're right. They still don't support Doge. You're right. So, well, okay, fine. In that case, maybe look at one of this. I don't know. I don't use exchange like that. Let me see.
I was gonna try to get on Kraken, but I was confused, so I just did Robinhood.
I was gonna say they're
Binance is an issue,
Binance.
too.
I would look at Binance.
There's something about American browsers though, like it wouldn't let me buy through the Binance app, and there was a Binance US site, but everything was, it seemed to me, at least at the time, a little bit convoluted, but I could have been redirected. It was challenging.
Yeah, it's there is some mystery to it.
But I don't like Robinhood, but at all.
I don't trust Robinhood.
No, not an inch. But
Natalie's asking if you mean you don't trust keeping your bank debit cards stored in these investment websites. I don't. Well, I mean that may be the case, but what you were referring to, I think, was literally just the cryptocurrency itself, right?
Yeah, they're in the exchanges. Yeah, I don't trust the exchanges. You know, I'd want to get that out into my wallet. I don't trust the exchanges, and I certainly don't trust the brokerages, for lack of a better word, like Binance, with my bank account. I just don't. I don't trust. The only place I store my bank card now is not Target. That makes me laugh. Because of Target, the only place I store my bank card online is Amazon.
Dean, you're still buying from Amazon, bro?
Yeah, I have a.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, me too.
I have
Yep.
zero trust with. I have zero trust. You know, I'll go through the pain in the butt of putting my debit card information, and I'm praying for the day that we have one-time use debit card numbers. You know.
Oh, speaking of Amazon, Dean,
Sure.
are you tracking the merchandise?
Yes, I just wanted to tell you that that's a good point, and I know I'm not sure if we did the socials at the top and I missed it.
Yeah,
we kind of did, but like, introduce yourself. We can do a partial social thing.
Well, we at current rate we have a negative one Jeff Bezos patron and a negative one Elon Musk patron at the moment.
And this brings me to the merchandise. I said it earlier, I'll say it again, shameless plug for our merch. What we're doing, guys, we're doing a limited run, 100 shirts. If we can sell them all, we'll do more. But the first 100 shirts are going to say Tucker Carlson sucks flaccid penis. The next 100 shirts are going to say Elon Musk fucks his cars. And then the next 100 shirts, this is where it gets real juicy. Jeff Bezos fucks us all.
Jeff Bezos, he's got a potty fetish.
I'm not surprised. He looks like a fucking alien, man.
Do we have that confirmed, Dean?
What's that?
Bezos and the potty fetish.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I think the entirety of Amazon, the entire economy, all the logistics and all the information systems, everything is really boiled down to the fact that he's got cameras all over his warehouses, so he can watch people piss and shit in their backpacks and bottles.
That is elaborate, dude. And I am on board.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, normally that's the kind of stuff I gotta pay shady people in back alleys for, but
Now we can pay shady people on the internet, man.
yeah,
Fuck yeah.
right. I'm so glad Rob walked away when I started plugging the merch.
You're not a fan?
No, I don't know, man. I think he wouldn't be a fan of the direction that we're going with this.
I'd be laughing.
I hope so.
What can you do?
I mean,
Yeah, I
this,
don't trust any online retailers. Random websites where you buy vape juice or socks.
oh, dude,
Oh,
I'm
no,
waiting on
I'm not.
waiting on a pair of pants from a Japanese company. They'll be here tomorrow, but like the wait period on them had me sweating.
Like 6 weeks.
No, actually, surprisingly, it kept with the I think they're going after one of the cats, and I'll have to run out there. But no, surprisingly, they stuck pretty close to the 6 to 10 days that they told.
That's not too bad.
But like the email, because it was just a standardized email that goes out, said 8 to 25 business days.
Yep.
For
Well,
some pants, man.
And they stuck in, what was it, Philadelphia?
No, they got stuck on the East Coast somewhere for a minute. I gotta go check on
Rhode
that.
Island, wasn't it?
Pennsylvania.
Jersey.
Some shit. Jersey.
The Sopranos. They've got they got all of those logistics trucks on lockdown, man. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it was weird. It went from like Rhode Island to Albany to fucking Jersey. And sat in Jersey for a hot minute.
Well, and that's the reality. A lot of folks have no choice. They either have to shop at Amazon just because they have very limited options for things that they need,
Right.
or they're housebound, or they're quarantined because they've been exposed. They really don't have a choice. They have to use Amazon.
Right.
I
just don't
I
think
shop on eBay.
be profiting like $80,000 a minute off of it.
Right. Well,
Hey.
when Austin finally takes his office as the president of the United States, he will nationalize Amazon.
Austin.
Austin.
Austin, I do actually have a suggestion for your Secretary of Defense. I think Jocko Willink, he's an ex-Navy SEAL, great guy, great motivational speaker, pretty decent fucking leader. I think he'd be a great Secretary of Defense.
So James said, I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
Agriculture.
James said, I'm vaping right now, but no self-driving crash mobile.
Hey, Elon, buddy. The letters, the 8-track tapes, the fucking the videos, the emails, it'll all stop.
You have the womanless mop.
They do have those, Dean. They got the little fucking robot mops that go around and fucking mop. Steam
Right.
mop.
Right.
Yep.
So
They had
yes.
They had those when I was a kid. At least the sweeper ones. They called them the Vroomba.
Well, yeah, but they actually have like full-blown steam mops.
Yeah, I know, that's
Roomba has
crazy.
them too, but like, yeah. Anyway,
That's an old joke that maybe we've forgotten, whereby I attributed Elon Musk to have invented the womanless mop because it was funny at the time.
Yeah, I know how that feels, man. I went back and watched some like Dane Cook the other day, some old school Dane Cook, and I felt weird watching it because it
Walmart has automated floor scrubbers now, so forget
I've
the
seen 'em.
maintenance.
Yep, I've met a couple of them.
I met a robot sanitizer at Walmart during COVID. It was like
That's crazy.
it had like UV lights in a big bar, and it was on wheels, and it was just going down the aisle.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
insane.
My Walmart don't got one of those.
No, we live in the sticks.
So that's
Yeah.
that's really what we want. We do want We want an unpaid automated machine distributing ultraviolet light amongst us. That sounds like a tremendously great idea.
Walk with it, get a tan.
Listen,
What the fuck are we thinking?
You mean what does Walmart think?
Well,
Yeah.
Walmart doesn't think too much except about profit.
You're right, Don. We are getting closer and closer to Futurama.
One of these days, Bender is going to be a real person.
Robot?
One of these days, Bender's going
He
to be
was a real
president.
person.
Yeah, in that one episode where he got really large.
Fat, yeah.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say large.
Well, he got fat, dude. I'm sorry, but he got so big that he died.
That's, yeah.
He was a glutton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bender.
Okay,
So
anyway.
that's,
Rob.
Natalie, the general consensus is, go get a Robinhood account and just start buying in nickels and dimes until you feel comfortable or until there's a compelling event. And there won't be a short supply of compelling events. My advice to anybody when it comes to cryptocurrency is don't try to hit a home run out of the park. Jump in, make a few hundred, get out. Jump in, make a few hundred, get out. Rinse and repeat. Don't go drain the 401k or borrow 15 grand from great grandma and hope that you're going to become the next instant millionaire. I think that's a fool's errand.
Fair enough. And that'll take us into our next segment.
Unless your grandma's a Republican. No, I'm just playing.
In which case,
Oh my
she's
God.
not fucking around with cryptocurrency either. She's got her money with real hedge funds that are draining blood out of babies.
I got stock in Walmart. So
Same. Well, I don't, but I'm just saying that would be the same as,
No,
the
really.
draining the blood out of the babies.
I kind of really
yeah, well, yeah. I bought it while I was working there, so they took it right out of my paycheck.
Let's pause and reflect on the hypocrisy of paying you less for you to buy an infinitesimal fraction. What a fucking disaster
Let's
we've come
not-
Yeah.
to. The reality that we are beginning to live in is nightmarish.
That was like 5 years ago or something.
Bro, this is a parking lot talk. Rob's trying to get through sustainability. and
I'm
this
sorry.
is down a rabbit hole.
But it's a good rabbit hole.
Yeah, but I'm starting to see the vein in his head. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
I'm not even looking.
What vein in my head?
You know,
It's right there.
it's right there in the middle.
Oh God.
It's the you motherfuckers vein.
So how are we being more sustainable, Rob? What do you got for us?
Well, technically, this is Trisha's story, but basically, we are separating beer waste into protein for food and fiber for biofuels.
Okay,
Indeed.
Trish,
Nice.
tell me more about it.
Well, it's traditionally mostly, been used for making cattle feed with the protein and stuff,
Yeah.
but they're starting to explore more ways to make use of all of that waste from making beer. And, obviously more food again with the protein, but to be able to make biofuels too. I don't know. I didn't get to dig into the science of it to see how the fuck they're turning fibers specifically into fuel, but I thought that was dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
For those of you in the comment section who don't know, because I'm pretty sure everybody in the group here knows, as a hobby, I make beer and wine, so this is pretty cool for me. If there's something I can do other than like compost my fucking.
Well, how much solid waste do you have when you make beer?
Not a lot. I don't make a lot of beer at one
Okay.
time.
All right, so it's simple. It's a simple distillation, right? You can make alcohol if you wanted out of your underwear, if you were determined.
If you're determined.
And it
Yep.
doesn't matter how dirty they are. It'll distill out a small quantity of alcohol. So I would imagine that's what they're doing.
I'm sorry, I got it. That would be some shitty alcohol.
Yeah, well, you did. I think we'd be amused at what they distilled during the Prohibition period.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh
No.
yeah.
So
No,
is
I
this
would
what our
take-
sustainability section is?
That's what
Booze?
Russian.
Yes.
That was
booze.
Yes.
All right, so listen.
Beer.
Listen, stills are not illegal to have.
No, I encourage people to learn the craft of distilling alcohol, and it has many uses if you're not a drinker.
Yeah, absolutely.
True.
Well, hell, I mean, even
Especially
in
in
the
a-
process, you are creating both methanol and ethanol.
Yeah.
So, hello, now you have not only your drinks but your hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that, and
And
in the
to
case of
still-
like a economic collapse, which is just a hypothetical thing, I'm not trying to say that like the economy is going to collapse or anything crazy like that. But in the case of something like that, you can trade that for other goods.
Yes.
Alcohol always to humans has a very high value.
I would argue it's more
Capitalism.
valuable than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
Capitalism will fall.
Yeah. And
Speaking of, you have to see what I have pulled up for the next. Hold on. This is what I have pulled up for the next segment.
capitalism will fall.
That's a great segue into quotations from Chairman Mao. What were you saying though, Don? I'm sorry.
I was muting the mic and telling Trisha that I'm not going to interrupt your talk about this because I think it's important, but I want to do some more dabs.
All right. Well, so the first sentence of chapter 7, we're on chapter 7, if you have forgotten since last Monday, because I did. The chapter is called Dare to Struggle and Dare to Win. And I think that this is important given the uprisings that we're going to talk about immediately following this. So yeah, with that being said, people of the world, unite and defeat the U.S. aggressors and all their running dogs. People of the world, be courageous and dare to fight, defy difficulties and advance, wave upon wave. Then the whole world will belong to the people. Monsters of all kinds shall be destroyed. That's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Hold on a second. I gotta stop this music. It's fucking with me. There we go. The Communist Party of China, having made a clear-headed appraisal of the international and domestic situation on the basis of the science of Marxism-Leninism, recognized that all attacks by the reactionaries at home and abroad had to be defeated and could be defeated. When dark clouds appeared in the sky, we pointed out that they were only temporary, that the darkness would soon pass and the sun would break through. Historically, all reactionary forces on the verge of extinction invariably conduct a last desperate struggle against the revolutionary forces, and some revolutionaries were apt to be deluded for a time by this phenomenon of outward strength, but inner weakness. That kind of goes back to last chapter, which was all reactionaries are paper tigers. Outward strength, inner weakness, paper tigers. Failing to grasp the essential fact that the enemy is nearing extinction while they themselves are approaching victory. I think that what they're trying to say, what he's trying to say, is that it's darkest right before dawn. If they fight, we will wipe them out completely. This is the way things are. If they attack and we wipe them out, they will have that satisfaction. Wipe out some satisfaction. Wipe out more satisfaction. Wipe out the whole lot, complete satisfaction. China's problems are complicated, and our brains must also be a little complicated. If they start fighting, we fight back. Fight to win peace. If anyone attacks us, and if the conditions are favorable for battle, we will certainly act in self-defense to wipe them out resolutely, thoroughly, wholly, and completely. We do not strike rashly, but when we do strike, we must win. We must never be cowed by the bluster of reactionaries. I just wanted to point out again that I'm in my mind, applying this to what's happening today in the movement for Black lives. And I think that we are starting to see this kind of mindset. They're not there for a fight. All they'd like is to be able to go home or send their kid to the store and not have to worry about whether or not they're coming back. The violence has already been initiated there. And I don't think that anything that they have done since Dante Wright was murdered is outside of that. However, when they are attacked, they don't just give up. They come back with shields and gas masks and jugs of milk and umbrellas.
Independent media.
And yeah, right. And that's the only reason we know about any of it is independent media. And we will be, just like we did in the second stream last Thursday, we will bring up some Unicorn Riot footage to... Nico is really good about talking to people, finding out what they feel about it, why they're there, why it's important, how other people can help, what they did to organize, so on and so forth. And tying into what I just said, as far as this is back to the book, as far as our own desire is concerned, we do not want to fight, even for a single day. However, if circumstances force us to fight, we'll fight to the finish. We are for peace, but so long as U.S. imperialism refuses to give up its arrogant and unreasonable demands and its scheme to extend aggression, the only course for the Chinese people is to remain determined to go on fighting side by side with the Korean people. Not that we are warlike, we are willing to stop the war at once and leave the remaining questions for later settlement. However, U.S. imperialism is not willing to do so. All right, then let the fighting go on. However many years U.S. imperialism wants to fight, we are ready to fight right up to the moment when it is willing to stop, right up to the moment of complete victory for the Chinese and Korean peoples. As we already know, that war technically never ended. That was referring to the Korean War. And that particular quote was taken from February 1953. So the war was not over yet, but they were talking about the unreasonable demands. As I recall, basically the U.S. wanted a fucking complete surrender and withdrawal. Of course that wasn't going to happen, and that didn't happen. The oppressed people and nations must not pin their hopes for liberation on the sensibleness of imperialism and its lackeys. They will only triumph by strengthening their unity and persevering in their struggle. No matter when this countrywide civil war breaks out, we must be well prepared. If it comes early, say tomorrow morning, we should also be prepared. That is point one. In the present international and domestic situation, it is possible for a time the civil war will be kept restricted in scale and localized. That is point two. Point one is what we should prepare for. Point two is what has existed for a long time. In short, we must be prepared. Being prepared, we shall able to deal properly with all kinds of complicated situations. And that was taken from 1945. So that was talking about the Civil War that ultimately led to the revolution's victory after the War of Resistance against Japan was over. James said, sad, racism needs to end probably 199 years ago. Yeah, I'll agree with that. So chapter 8 is going to be People's War. And keep in mind that obviously they're talking about actual warfare that happened, but you can use tactics in other ways than violence. Part of the People's War was, if I remember correctly, and of course, if I'm not, I'll correct this next Monday when we talk about the People's War, but if I remember correctly, part of it is refusing to be ruled by a government that oppresses you. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. But yeah, anybody else got anything to say about that?
I'm not gonna lie to our viewers, I was gone for most of it. I'm just dealing with a crisis.
I'm not currently in the loop on the book, but I mean, it harkens very relevantly. I mean, I don't even know necessarily the context you're talking about because I just walked in as well, but I'm already like, yeah, amen.
So the book is quotations from Chairman Mao. The Civil War he was referring to was the Civil War that happened when Japan's occupation of China ended at the end of World War II. Eventually, Mao's revolution succeeded, but there was a civil war, and it was basically Mao's people versus the capitalist forces. And in 1949, that war ended. So, like, that's the context that they're talking about, coming out of imperial Japanese rule and wanting to build something better than that, rather than essentially restructuring the same thing but Chinese.
Yeah, I think it's scary at first, maybe digging into some of these philosophies just because of the way those characters evolved over time. I mean, Mao ended up pretty shaky.
Yeah,
But
well, and I mean, that's something I want to talk about at the end of the book, but there's also been a lot of misinformation too. Like the Big Black Book of Communism, if anything that you have ever learned about communism came from the Big Black Book of Communism, forget it. I'm not saying that there are no facts in that book, but I'm saying there's a lot of twisted facts in that book.
The only question I have is like, you're making a very blanket statement there. You're just saying like, if this is where your information comes from, forget it. But like, what's your source that the information's twisted?
Well, a lot of their sources, based on their movements, based on their plane tickets and shit, not plane tickets actually, I'm thinking of like early Russian examples. Obviously it wasn't plane tickets, it was train tickets, but some of these early on reporters that were coming from the United States were saying that they were from somewhere else, and they were saying that they were at specific places when there's literally no way that they could have traveled by horse or car to the places that they said they were, from the places that they were actually at.
I feel like one of these days we should take some time and have this discussion as well.
Yes. And that's part of what I want to do in our summary. I want to try to, and I emphasize try, because I don't think that we're ever going to get an accurate picture from the United States or from Russia or China or whatever. I think that the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. So the best thing that we can do is weed through what we know aren't true, like the number of Ukrainians that died in the famine, for example. If 53 million Ukrainians had died, there would be less than 50 million Ukrainians left. But the next year they were in forced labor camps and there was, 70 something million of them. The math doesn't add up. That being said, that being said, I brought up Stalin's name. That could be a whole rabbit hole. That's going to have to be its own episode.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was a good guy, but I don't think that he was the guy that was painted by U.S. media.
You're right. We have to dig into the boogeyman.
Right.
Like a true communist.
That being said, current Chinese government is putting people in forced labor camps. I know I didn't brief any of you people on me even thinking about bringing that up because I didn't realize I was going to bring it up. We're going to talk about that eventually, not today because I don't have all of the information. But
I've been looking for information and it's hard to come by,
dude. And
well, I would imagine so. If it's truly happening, They wouldn't want anybody
they're
to know
calling
that.
they're calling them re-education facilities, but like I've seen video of like the people that they're putting in these re-education facilities, and they're having them sing things like, if you're happy and you know it, say yes sir.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna compile some information about that, what I can, and we'll talk about that when I have a better grasp on the whole situation. But
Yeah.
just in case
Indeed.
anybody wonders, we are gonna call out like the bullshit that's happening, no matter if they are, you know, the Communist Party of China.
Well,
Bullshit's
I
hate to
don't
say
like
this,
I
but
don't like this wording. The Communist Party of China, that's an Americanized thing. It is actually the Chinese Communist Party, not
Okay.
Okay, so here's the distinction.
My bad.
No, here's the distinction. Communist Party of China
Makes
implies
it sound like the whole country. That,
well, no, it makes it sound like they're above the people. And Mao, when the party was formed, he was very specific in not having it be the Communist Party of China. That's all. That's all.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, whether or not they hold up that standard, I don't think they do. I'll say that right now. But whether or not they hold up that standard, I think it's fair to at least call it the right thing.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's talk about this some other time when we're not trying to get through the live stream, because if we continue, we're gonna just talk over each other, and neither of us are gonna get a point across.
All right, so I guess we'll start with international shit then.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
Navalny, his I don't know if I want to call them lawyers, but the people that have had contact with him say that he is dying in prison and not getting any sort of care or attention. But that being said, the New York Times is reporting that Navalny was transferred to a hospital for a vitamin treatment, whatever the fuck that means. But I mean, Navalny's name has kind of came back up quite a bit because, you know, he's still in prison. There is still, to a lesser scale, but there is still a lot of off and on protests happening around Russia pertaining to his incarceration. And Bernie said that Putin is murdering Navalny in front of the world. But that's all I got about Navalny. Little closer to home in terms of international, there is new leadership in Cuba's Communist Party. It's the same man that was chosen to replace Raul Castro as president when he stepped down from that role. Much like Raul, he will be, for the time being, both the general secretary of the party and the president. I know that they are in the midst of a transition to a more democratized system. We'll have to follow that and see if that plays out. I mean, that was Raul's project, and if he's not in charge, do we know that this guy is going to follow through on that?
I have some international news out of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently an Iranian nuclear facility was taken offline. There have been, like, Iran right off the bat blamed Israel, obviously. And by taken offline, I mean it's like somebody took it and plugged it into the Texas power grid. It's not working. But Iran immediately blamed Israel. Israel's government was silent. Israel's media said that it was probably Mossad. So that's a thing. It's the thing that happened. And something to pay attention to.
Something else just to think about while we're in international news is you notice how since Biden's in office, they've been the media and the government alike have been beating the war drums over and over and over with anybody they can.
Oh yeah, of course. He's an aggressive motherfucker when it comes
Yeah.
to international policy, dude.
Dude, and he's trying to like pick a fight with Russia and China at the same time, which is funny because they would never be on the same side now like they would have been in the 80s. But like, holy fuck, dude. You realize how bad of an idea that is?
Dude, I know. And like, there was that thing last week that I shared where the Russian military analyst was saying within the next 4 weeks, we could see, by the end of this month, we could see the beginnings of World War III. And we need to keep a close eye on that. It affects all of us. That's why it's called a world war.
What? 3? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
My mother-in-law's saying no. It's happening.
2.5.
3.5
2.5.
times 2 squared.
Maybe 2.5, but there is not going to be a 3.
2.5 redux.
I mean, they didn't ever think there was going to be a 2. They didn't call it World War I. They called it the Great War or the War to End All Wars.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know.
I mean, I hope there's never a 3, but I can't write it off given just how aggressive our government is to begin with.
Yeah, they are hungry. They're hungry for power and money, and their investors are hungry for money, and their investors.
Do you ever
are
think
Boeing.
that we will see war on our land?
Oh, I have no idea. I can't speculate on that, but I'm pretty sure that tensions are pretty high internationally.
I mean, World War I never touched our soil.
Well,
We're such a young empire, though.
Yeah.
We are a baby.
Oh man.
Yeah, I heard it
So,
explained as empires are like flowers. I mean, yeah, they grow and they bloom. Some take longer and so forth, but they all die. You know, like it's part of the life cycle. It's meant to expire.
And they're all weeds.
And they can be weeds, yeah.
They're all weeds. Flowers
They
are
are
weeds.
They are weeds.
You're not wrong.
Right.
So just to touch on the Cuba thing, I didn't give his name. Diaz-Canel, Miguel Diaz-Canel, has taken over, and as he accepted the position, he said, Comrade Raul will be consulted on the most important strategic decisions of greatest weight for the destiny of our nation. He will always be present. According to the law of Cuba, he must chart the course forward for the Cuban Revolution. Remember that's the goal, is continuous revolution. You're supposed to, for lack of a better way to put it, you're supposed to leave this rock better than we found it. But it's the first time since 1959 that a Castro was not in power on the island.
Wow.
Of course, he is still, what's the word I'm looking for? Informally, an advisor or whatever, but man, he's 90 years old. He literally fought in his country's revolution for like fucking 15 years. He deserves.
Yeah.
He deserves to fucking sit the fuck down. That's all I'm saying. The new guy, though, he's as president, he's been putting out this like image of a younger, more charismatic leader, which is kind of funny because actually I'll just screen share this. This is the guy who they're considering. Not the one on the right, obviously, that's Raul, but yeah. He had gray hair 5 years ago. He's definitely not young.
No.
But
90 to 60.
But yeah, I was going to say 90 to 60, exactly. And I think that that's something that the Cuban Revolution didn't think through. I understand why Fidel Castro was in power for so long. I understand why he was so widely respected by the people of his country. But I think it was a mistake to not let younger voices have a say in the party if they were really pushing for continuous evolution.
Well, from what I gather, what I was reading on this earlier, it's not that younger people don't have a say at all. They just are working their way up to the chain. That's basically what this guy did.
Well, right.
He worked his way up over the years.
But you shouldn't have to be 60 years old to be the head of the party either.
No, you shouldn't.
I think it should be every few years the faces change, but
also, since they have them as separate positions that are like co-heads of the country, with actually the leader of the party being higher than the seat of the president, I think it would be cool to actually see two different people in there.
You know, I thought that they were going to keep that going because Raul stepped down as president but stayed on as leader of the party. I was hoping that maybe Diaz-Canel would have been, you know, pushed up to general secretary and they would have brought in somebody even younger for president. But so far that hasn't happened.
We'll keep
Well,
watching.
I mean, he'd only taken over the presidency in 2018. So I guess with Raul keeping the seat as the head of the party, just made a smoother segue into him ending up with both. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I was just really hoping, especially since they're kind of trying to democratize.
Right. It would be nice to hear two voices there.
Exactly. That being said, far be it from me sitting in my cozy room in Glendale, Arizona, to tell the Cuban people how to run their country.
I'm just all about the more representation, the better.
Right. So Natalie said, can we really trust our media and government to believe what we hear on China? Definitely some bullshit on Russia. I tend to agree with both of those, and that's kind of what I was getting at. I'm not saying that, like I said, I did make the comment, if you read it in the Big Black Book of Communism, forget it. But that being said, I also said that doesn't mean there are no facts. That just means that there are also twisted facts. And I think the same goes for the narrative currently on China and Russia. Although we're coming at Russia from a weird angle, man, because they're just as right-wing and crazy as we are in terms of their government.
They really are. Their president, their president's like 4 feet tall and angry about it. Rides bears through the wilderness shirtless while fishing for salmon.
Without a pole.
Without a pole. Like,
With his teeth.
Jesus Christ.
He launches himself into the water in a stealth dive.
Listen, I really think we could handle all of this. We could settle all of it in a Mortal Kombat style 1v1, no holds barred fight.
Who do you think America's going to put up against Putin for a while?
Well, I mean, time out. If we're talking heads of state, I mean, like,
who cares?
Bro, Joe Biden would get his ass beat so fast.
I don't care. I would pay to watch Joe Biden get his ass beat by Putin, just to watch him get his ass beat by fucking Angela Merkel. I assume she's still in office in Germany. She's been there.
Yeah, she's still chancellor.
Yeah, of course she is. She's great. She's great.
Well, I mean, she could definitely defeat him on behalf of Germany. But what about the U.S.?
I mean, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Everybody just fights and then it's settled.
And we would get our ass kicked.
Who cares?
Right.
It's done.
It's
we
done
should,
after that. We live here.
No. There are no repercussions. Just the world leaders fight each other and then it's done.
Okay, Old Man Joe should be able to choose.
He gets the steel chair. Either that or Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders with a chainsaw versus everybody else.
No.
Sterling's like.
No.
So James replied to that comment saying it's for headlines and ratings, isn't it? And yeah, I'm sure that's it. And then Natalie said, that is the question. Where is the truth? It keeps up the fear of socialism and fear of real changes that are for the people. Oligarchy as the norm and working poor for the capitalist needs to survive in our government's mindset, in my opinion. And then she said, agreed, term limits in any government. And we need term limits except for Bernie Sanders. And then she asked if it's correct that Russia is ruled by oligarchs and the Russian mob. And honestly, from what I'm able to tell, it pretty much seems like since the fall of the Soviet Union, that has been more and more and more the case.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I'm able to tell as well. Granted, I mean, who really knows?
They probably say the same about us.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, it's more blatantly true over there, though, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, we are in the mob, but over here it's like double talk everything.
No,
we're not in the mob. We're on Wall Street.
We don't work for corporations.
We're job creators.
This.
And then James just said the old-fashioned put up your dukes, no buttons to push allowed.
Bro,
exactly.
I am telling you, just world leader blood sport. We'll resurrect Philip, have his old ass just fight it out with everybody. It'll be great.
Spartans? Is that what it was? The Spartans? Have a lion.
The Romans.
The Romans. Put him in the arena and see who comes out.
Yeah, and it
It
doesn't
all comes
matter
full
who
circle.
wins, because just like whose line is it anyway, the points don't matter, the rules are made up. We're just watching these old fucks beat the shit out of each other, and it sounds beautiful, doesn't it?
But in reality, though, we're watching the fall of Rome in 4K with lo-fi.
Bro, I love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Where did Dean go?
I don't know.
I'm here.
He's still here.
Oh,
I've tried to wipe off that little red box on my fucking screen.
He is ever present. He is a timeless and timeless being. He is everywhere at all times, in all space, always.
Hey, that being said,
That's why he's
I'll-
always.
what's our next thing, Rob?
power of a strike.
But
it's very quick. I just wanted to say that there was a lawsuit filed by union organizers that Amazon interfered in the union election.
Get them.
Surprise.
Get them.
Right.
Oh, shit, the economy.
Back on.
See, perfect timing again.
And then we're going into the part that I saved all of my dialogue for. I feel like I put the Chauvin trial, the Black Lives Matter protests. Everything is kind of just in this section today.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I have some good news, and I don't want to put it after this because I want this to be what we leave people with.
Well, this still isn't the end. We still have the well-armed proletariat segment.
Either way, I think the good news
and LGBTQ news.
Yeah,
we still gotta load the dishwasher, change out the laundry.
Yeah, I feel like the good news should come before.
We got at least 2 more hours, bro.
I got that, but this is a tiny thing. This is a tiny thing, and then we can be serious the rest of the time, and then our viewers can be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
I can't be serious.
Yeah, I'm not serious about
Much.
85% of what I say.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Laugh or cry.
I'm starting a kendo club where I'm at. I'm really excited about it, and I'm sorry that I'm taking this time. I see that look on Rob's face right now.
Uh-oh, is the vein coming out? Holy
Man,
fuck.
I was reading comments and then I looked up and Don thinks
He went shark-eyed. He went like dead in the eyes like a shark.
His eyelids start twitching.
Yep. But no, I'm starting a kendo club. Guys, get out there and do what you can to, I'm not going to preach like some sort of meditation or anything to you, but get out there and do what you can in this pandemic to stay physically active. It's springtime. Get outside. Get some vitamin D.
Watch those ticks.
Watch for ticks.
I just said watch those tits. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, man.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Sterling,
It's exposed.
I've been outside.
It's out now.
4 a.m. in that bush around back. Oh yeah, I can see right in the bedroom.
The raccoons, man.
No, those aren't raccoons. Those are my drones.
Oh my
Don't
god.
start with me. I went through a lot of drone activity last night for these fucking crazy Reddit fuckers.
Bro, I have a drone, by the way.
I will go down that hole.
Okay.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yeah, Don's got a drone. He keeps it in his underwear drawer.
So I guess we'll start with the Chauvin trial. The closing arguments were today, and the defense said so much dumb shit.
Oh.
And then the prosecution got back up. More specifically, the guy's name was Blackwell. I know he works in the Attorney General's office. But he did the rebuttal in the closing arguments, and it was beautiful. It was just like, okay, so first we're going to talk, or well, not first. Actually, I'm just going to pull it up. That's what I'm going to do.
Please do.
While you do that, thank you, Natalie. She recently joined our Patreon. Is that right, Dean?
We did have a pledge.
Hey! Thank you. We're trying to figure out, I think, something. I haven't really talked to the rest of the group about it, but I think something we're going to do for the lower level Patreon subscribers, not the Elon Musks or the Jeff Bezos of the world, is give out some have
the
a
front
drawing
lines.
free. Yeah, the front lines soldiers, comrades in this revolution. I think we're going to do a drawing for like free t-shirts and shit, because I mean, we're having them printed anyway.
Yeah, if you're a Jeff Bezos level subscriber, we would offer Sterling to be your personal blood boy for at least 10 days per month.
Yes.
That being said, Jeffy boy, Jeff.
You can oil me up and fit me in a little box. Take me with you on your adventures.
That all sounds
I'm
fun,
hungry.
but Jeff, if you do subscribe, the pictures are not going to stop. The videos, the 8-track cassettes, the vinyl records, the
Mini discs.
emails, the mini discs, those will stop, but the pictures, like I told Elon.
I hear that Don's 8-track tapes, if you listen to them, you die in 7 days. Is that true, Don?
No comment. You
No.
but don't play them backwards.
So back to the okay. So the defense
to
tried
reality.
to say that he died of drugs and heart complications.
Of course.
And they also tried for a mistrial. The judge literally rolled his eyes. That was kind of entertaining.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But it just kind of looked like he was like, of course you're trying for a mistrial.
Right.
It was just stupid. But Jerry Blackwell, man, this prosecutor. Am I screen sharing right now? No. I need to do that. I need to do that. Now I'm screen sharing. Okay.
Common sense. We'll continue talking with you all the while, because while you've heard hours and hours and hours of discussions here in the closing, ultimately it really isn't that complicated in what it is you have to decide with respect to the excessive use of force and the issue of causation. In fact, it is so simple that a child could understand it. In fact, a child did understand it when the 9-year-old girl said, "Get off of him." That's how simple it was. Get off of him. Common sense. You were told, for example, that Mr. Floyd died because his heart was too big. You heard that testimony.
That was the defense attorney.
And now, having seen all the evidence, having heard all the evidence, you know the truth. And the truth of the matter is that the reason George Floyd is dead is because Mr. Chauvin's heart was too small.
That was the last sentence of the thing, by the way, was
Well said. Well done.
yeah. That was like the mic drop though, was the reason that Mr. George Floyd is dead is because Derek Chauvin's heart is too small, and then he just walked away.
Yeah.
It's good.
Immediately following that, the jury was given their instructions, don't watch the media. Of course, listen to everybody's point of view, yada, yada, yada. Like, don't go in there with your mind made up. Typical jury instructions. And who knows how long they're going to be deliberating.
We'll be keeping an eye on it.
I mean, if I am not at work when the results are announced, I am totally down to just start an impromptu live stream. So.
Yeah. Just hit me with the link, dude. I'm on disability. I don't do anything else.
Indeed.
Shout out to the VA. It's been since 2013. Had to go out of my state to get somebody to help me out with it. But I'm finally on disability.
Rad.
Had to reach out to somebody in Arizona to help me out.
And it's not me.
And it's not
or Sterling.
Yeah, and it's nobody here.
So what are I forgot to write it down because I thought there was no way I was going to forget. What are they calling it? Operation what? This military occupation in Minneapolis? Safety net.
Yeah, safety net. Hey, there is a piece of news about the military operation in Minneapolis. I want to say I just want to give the information. I do not want to have any discussion about opinions, about the morality of what happened. I just want to say 2 National Guard soldiers were injured in a drive-by shooting in Minneapolis the other night. I read about it today. I have no other information other than 2 National Guard soldiers were injured in a drive-by shooting in Minneapolis.
And that was through the Humvee, correct?
And that was through the window of the Humvee. The bullet went right through the window of the Humvee. Granted, keep in mind, because I know where people's minds. No, it was the front window. But I know where people's minds are going. The National Guard has what we called in the Army legacy gear. It's the same Humvees you guys had.
Yeah.
Same glass you guys had. So it's not like I don't know if it's necessarily designed to stop a bullet.
No.
It didn't shatter the glass though.
Wow.
So,
did they say what round it was?
Nope. We're not going to get information like that. It's a National Guard matter now. Mm-hmm. And it's a complicated National Guard matter because they got to also partner with the civilian police department on it. So
they got to.
They absolutely have to. That's the way the law is written. It didn't happen on a military installation, so they can't take lead on it.
Well, as of 7/21, 28-year-old man has been arrested.
Hey, hopefully it's the right guy and they actually acted on evidence and not like the need to find somebody to blame.
And there's a picture of the windshield, and it definitely did breach the
passenger
area. Yeah,
it went right through that glass, man.
Yeah.
What is the mentality here? I mean, honestly, I know you don't want to.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
I can attest to that a little bit. No, man, I can tell you what it is a little bit. How do I put this? In Flint, they brought in the Michigan State Police to aid in supplementing the police coverage in that area.
They were kind of seen as an invading force.
They were an invading force, and they remain so. And people in the hood would throw glass in the streets. They'd get behind a bush, take a pot shot, blow out their back windows, sending a clear message that they were not welcome. They were not. These were usually young white boys, recruited, or volunteering for employment with the Michigan State Police. They're usually from rural areas of Michigan. They never even seen a black person.
Hey, Rob.
They literally imagine, right? You're from Ionia, Michigan. That's not a good example because the prisons are there.
Yeah. Go further north.
A little farther north. Yeah. Okay.
I met
Mayo,
a person
Michigan.
of color. I met a person of color for the first time when I was in 4th grade.
Mayo, Michigan. You're from Mayo, Michigan. You get a job with the Michigan State Police. You get assigned to Flint. You assume you're in hell, and your gun's out. It's in your lap when you're driving. So we all felt it was a recipe for disaster, and it proved to be time and time again. So it was important, and I'm not advocating. No one in this presentation or on this podcast listening in future advocates this, but I certainly understand.
I mean, that's all I was going to say, is that they probably see it as an occupying force, and I can't even blame them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think that that's an appropriate course of action. I don't think that's going to get any sort of results that they're going to like.
Yeah, but
That's
we
my
operate
question.
within the boundaries of a system that was created to benefit us.
This is true.
I just don't see any strategic advantage. But as Dean pointed out, the just taking pot shots out of anger and making a statement, that I do get.
There's strategic advantage in taking pot shots out of anger. There actually is. It held us in fucking Iraq and held us in Afghanistan for almost an entire 2 generations, man.
That's a point I hadn't considered. You're right.
There's some advantage to taking pot shots. I personally, for just my own selfish reasons, am taking a no opinion approach of this. This is simply the facts. 2 people were injured in Minneapolis during a drive-by shooting. Those people happen to be members of the Minnesota National Guard.
Yeah.
That being said,
you bring literally aliens from another planet driving spaceships into a place where they clearly have no roots, no vested connection, no affiliation, no concern for the residents, and the residents may well respond in kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got some interviews from outside of Operation Safety Net headquarters. I'm not going to show you the fucking press conference that they did. Although I think that the fact that they've been specifically protesting Operation Safety Net, including marching to the governor's mansion, protesting Operation Safety Net, I think that has shown results. They were not publicly saying anything about Operation Safety Net a week ago, and now they're acknowledging that it's a thing and that it's how they're communicating through the various departments and what's the word I'm looking for, organizations that are there. They have Nebraska State Patrol, Ohio State Patrol, Minneapolis State Patrol, Hennepin County Sheriff's Department, Minnesota National Guard, Brooklyn Center Police Department, Minneapolis Police Department, Brooklyn Park Police Department. It's an occupying military force. And the entire point of the protests against it have been that they're not keeping anybody safe. And I picked this interview at random on this video, so I hope it's a good one.
I'm a target. They all know my face. So it's like, that's why you ain't gonna see me out there at 11.
So what brought you out here right now? We got the Operation Safety Net headquarters right here. What is your interpretation of Operation Safety Net?
I think Michelle and them said it well. I mean, there's nothing safe about it for us. There's a net involved, but it sure ain't safe. I think Michelle said it well when she said this feels like a dry run for the response to the Chauvin verdict. It doesn't feel good, man. Everywhere you go, downtown. I went to the store in the neighborhood. You know, the cops were, the National Guard were in the parking lot. And so this tells us.
I want to interject right here. I forgot to say this before I hit play, and I meant to. The National Guard is literally there to protect property. That is their designated role. They even said this in the press conference. The National Guard is literally there to protect property, not people, property.
Listen, the cops killed one of us, right? And so their response is to be even more repressive. Think about this, right? While they're trying to tell us, because Operation Safety Net was about, we organizing this so you can be safe, right? So we give you a safe space to protest, right? And then folks are out there protesting, and what do? They vamp down on them, begin to arrest folks, jail them. I don't remember them, Nico, I don't know if you remember this, I don't remember them charging people with felony riot. No, right? It used to be obstruction of justice, disorderly conduct, right? That's pretty much it, or breaking curfew. So I think what they're doing is they're trying to discourage people from protesting. They're absolutely trying to discourage folks. And in doing that, the governor has become lawless, right? They issued a ruling saying, hey, man, you all have to back off. But I don't want them to back off not just the journalists, but the protesters as well. But they're showing their hand.
That's another thing. Kind of unrelated to the Operation Safety Net briefing, the press conference, but they have been ordered by a federal judge to back the fuck off of the press. We literally saw the first and second nights, we literally saw them targeting press with rubber bullets, with, one of the press people got shot in the chest with a tear gas canister.
Yeah, that one guy got pulled into the police lines, questioned, screamed at, questioned some more, shoved back into the protest.
And told to get the fuck out of there, basically.
Told to get the fuck out of there.
And he didn't. He went and talked to all the other press people like, yo, dude, what the fuck?
Well, even then, it's not like he could have got past the cops to get the fuck out of there.
Right. And that's what these people were asking. They were pulling people out of their cars that were trying to leave.
And the widespread implications of that felony riot. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like this segment of the population is already disadvantaged enough economically, and now you're going to throw a felony. You're gonna wave a felony in front of it.
Of course, man. Of course.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to bet that the reason that they threw a
job.
felony out there. I'm willing to bet that the reason that they threw a felony out there is because even if they can't make it stick, they can keep them in jail long enough for the protests to go away, or at least that's what they're hoping. There are still a lot of people that have not been released that have been arrested in the last week.
That's actually a very astute observation, Rob. And
yeah,
and I think you're probably onto something there. But in response to what Sterling was saying, of fucking course they're going to be throwing felony riot around.
I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it is what it is. Let's look the dart in the eye.
Yeah.
If that even makes sense. But yeah.
It's a fucking scare tactic.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that they won't actually act on it, but
no, it's exactly what our friend here was pointing out.
Yeah, actually, I'm really stoked about for it being a random interview. It was a really good one to jump to.
Yeah.
I'm impressed though with the protests. I'm old school. I've been out here for a minute, but I'm really impressed with the work of all the activists and especially the families. I was there earlier when a few families were able to speak today downtown, which was pretty cool. They raised some demands too. You heard I'm sure they told you demands here, right? That they wanted the Operation Safety Net to end. We want them to send the National Guard home, and we want to raise those charges. So we were down there demanding that they raise those charges to second-degree murder, right? And so we're demanding that they charge her with murder and send her to jail like they would any one of us. And so also at the press conference and at the meeting earlier, this is an important thing because, this is going to pass. This time will pass, but we'll still be fighting. Families like Tashira and Amity and the rest of the folks are going to still be pressing, and we'll still be pressing, brother, for them to reopen the cases, right? That's going to be a fight. We're going to keep that fight up to have the cases reopened. And, our demand is that we, in the system of policing as we know it, the reforms don't work as we're seeing. I mean, we'll take whatever reforms, but the legislature ain't even trying to pass no reforms, man. Right? So pretty much they're kind of, they're kind of telling us what we're going to do. And what we got to do is keep coming, keep protesting, keep using every means at our disposal to keep pushing back against them. And that's all we can do, man. You know me, I'm down for us fighting until we can't fight no more, So anyway, if you got any questions, I'm just rolling on. You got any questions?
Totally. Thank you so much. You brought the Chauvin trial. You've been covering it a lot. Just to pivot to that real quick, what is your interpretations of what next week will bring?
Everybody keeps asking me, and the question, brother, the real question is, what are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I can't answer it. I don't know what it's gonna bring. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If, I'm like every other black person, like that Saturday Night Live skit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't so sure, right? We hope for the best, right? But we fear the worst. And we need to ask them, what are y'all gonna do to make sure we don't have any more Dante Wrights? You know what I'm saying? To make sure we don't have any more George Floyds, right? I mean, if you can't tell us what you're gonna do, if you can't hold the police accountable, what are they saying to us, Brother Nico? You know what I'm saying? We can't continue with business as usual, right? They seem pretty comfortable with it. So I don't know how it's gonna go down, brother. I know we're gonna have protests one way or the other. Hopefully it'll be a celebratory protest, right? We're gonna organize a response. You know what I'm saying? If it's only second degree, it'll be a really protest. If they don't come back with anything, well, you can kind of guess how that's gonna go, right? We'll be out here protesting, brother, until we can't protest no more. Ooh, that light, man.
Yeah,
it's something else. It's even messing with my concentration. That's okay. So
thank you for taking this time. Last thing, maybe, and I'll let you go because the light is really bright. So Operation Safety Net, I think 2 days ago when folks came out here, they were questioning who's the safety for, right?
Right.
You sort of brought up, and we know Kim Potter, we heard earlier, she got out in 5 hours, right? You even said, right?
Yes.
While people are facing riot charges, still locked up. The community has been brutalized while trying to grieve in Brooklyn Center. Who's this safety for?
As I said, but it ain't for us. But they've told this story. Remember, they kept giving us this propaganda that we want to allow you all to have the space to protest, right? But then they put up all the fences and the barriers and the barbed wire, right? It ain't looking like a very safe. You've been down there. Doesn't look like a very comfortable place for us to protest in, right? So they've come up with this propaganda now that we're going to protect you from the outsiders. They're the outsiders, right? We need protection from them. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. It takes nerve, though, when you think about these people. This is why I am an advocate of changing this system, brother. I mean, how is it they're gonna kill one of us and still be brutal, right? They killed one of us, and then they turn around and perpetuate. I was out there. They're perpetuating violence against us, right? I mean, and then try to flip the script and make it look like we're violent, right? And this is why we got to keep organizing, and we got to, at some point, man, we got to face our reality that this system is just not workable for us. They're gonna keep doing this. Since we've been out, since the trial started, I just saw.
So, dude,
I'm not advocating for anything. All I'm saying is in Florida, there is a copy of the French Palace at Versailles, and it would sure be fitting to do beheadings in Versailles.
Smooth.
Anyway, I'm just gonna fold back into my shadows, my tactical shadows.
That came from the shadows, dude. That
Yeah.
came from the shadows.
My house.
The voice I'm hearing right now is actually speaking to you.
For anybody
From the
that
shadow.
wonders, Don doesn't smile, so the enemy doesn't see his teeth.
So something pretty cool happened at George Floyd Square yesterday.
Oh, some good news.
This is a black and yellow solidarity rally at George Floyd Square. So remember a couple of weeks ago we had the interview with the Black Panthers and the Yellow Panthers that were talking about uniting their communities, yada yada yada. Well, looks like they're working on it.
He's real quiet, man.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Of the train to do so. W for standing up for justice. Thank you for opening up your heart to love instead of hate. W for simply showing up. Thank you for this time of unity. And I want to share a poem share instead. Go back to your own country. I thought, where? Pain and healing, we compare. Listening and welcoming space. Beauty and standard, we compare. Black and yellow, made in the perfect in the image of God. Discrimination to oppression, we compare. Validation to solidarity, to healing together. And I cannot fully grasp or understand your pain or emotions, but I know the pain of losing, the unending oppression, and the plague for justice. And my prayers and thoughts are with you. W. Thank you.
So this was a 4-hour rally. They had speakers. They had, I believe, they had some
and right now he got
spoken word poetry,
Smith, also known as Ann, and she's a
music
powerful woman, and she is with
at
us
some
today.
points.
So please say his name. Say his name! Say his name! If Jeffrey don't get it, shut it down! If Jeffrey don't get it, shut it down! If Jeffrey don't get it, shut it down!
Alright, what's up? But then if we go to, hold on a second, maybe. I click stop share and it's still, there we go. Okay. So that's a pretty cool event though. We're seeing real world results of the Black Panthers and Yellow Panthers coming together several weeks ago now at this point. And,
a good pick of you, Rob.
Rob's internet's
Having
kinda
a
messy.
moment.
Having a moment. The Alphabet Boys are onto us, man.
You're interrupting his signal.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
Are we good now?
I can hear you.
Was I trying to do too many things at once?
I think you might
you
have been,
froze.
but your face is still froze, bro. Like, stop sharing your video and then share it again.
Turning blue.
Turning blue.
No, the spinning blue. You know, the Windows fucking loading
yeah.
thing.
Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties. This
Yeah.
episode
We've been
today
breached. We've been
brought to
breached.
you by Hypnotoad. I can't do the voice. I can't do the sound effect, or I would.
I would pull it up, but apparently I'm not allowed to do anything right now.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Hypnotoad.
Let me take this opportunity to remind everybody that if you want rock, hard, long-lasting, all-night empathy,
Listen.
go ahead and head on over to the. Go ahead, Sterling.
No,
Oh no. That's
got the
that's
energy,
Sterling.
man.
Listen. On our For We Are Many dark web domain, which you need, I believe, our technical department has told me the Tor browser. And let me get into the shadows for this.
Now we got 2 cameras deadline.
No,
This is
this is a long running joke, people.
Yep.
You know. We have
Ride it into the dirt, man.
Don't
we
forget
have
to use the
the
coupon
Don
code
Hughes-
For We Are Many.
Yes, for 10% off of, especially for the Don Hughes Dirty Mountain Chai, guaranteed to max your deadlift a minimum of 9,000 pounds. A minimum. That's meaning Lord Sterling, if you're tracking this, that means that potentially your deadlift could be over 9,000.
I can't say no to those numbers, Don.
Right. It's
don't care what this
it's
guy
so
smells
good.
like.
It's so good. At this
Did this
point,
come out of Don?
No.
This came from Don.
No, it's my special recipe. I don't know the
Yes.
exact recipe. I just
It's a special distillate
yeah,
of undershorts.
and chai.
Correct.
Yeah.
Naturally sourced derivatives.
Naturally sourced.
Things like goat piss.
Cheetah piss.
Powdered deer penis.
Fucking what? I mean, yes. Yes.
That's right.
We got to ask Steven Seagal about that.
So, folks,
Wow.
we are deadly serious here when we say the effects are long lasting and guaranteed to satisfy.
If you want rock hard empathy.
What a world.
Oh shit, we're not recording anymore. Something must have really happened.
Yeah,
we struck a nerve.
That's because Rob left the call. He'll come back on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, folks, use this opportunity to take a bio break.
For rock hard empathy.
We are still live streaming though, because I think I'm still host. So
hello.
as long as I'm here, we're on Facebook still.
Okay.
Yeah, and YouTube
To our
Instagram.
To our viewers, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this. We're dealing with technical difficulties. I'm not looking at the comments right now because my ability to do so is limited. But just know that we are sorry.
You know, just breaking since we started this broadcast. Apparently, the top news item right now is that Walter Mondale croaked. I didn't know he was still alive.
Walter Mondale's dead.
Yep.
Anyway, I made chili today.
Fantastic.
Actually, no, I just lied to you. I
shit.
didn't make chili today. What did I make today?
Cigarettes in my dad's.
Pierogies. I made pierogies and kielbasa.
It was very good.
And green beans.
And green beans.
And
Rob's been compromised, guys.
Well, yeah. Here.
I think we need to worry here.
Well, I think as he's rebooting,
something happened.
Yeah, I think he's got to reboot, and then he'll come back on, and don't forget we got to remind.
He's in a black bag, Dean. He's in a black bag.
Nah, he's
not
good.
in a black bag. He is joining back up right now. Quit scaring people. Come on.
I am not in a black bag.
Oh, thank God.
Did they get you?
Worried. Did they get you? Did they
Did they get to you, Rob?
There we go. Thanks, Rob.
No problem.
The last
This-
thing that was
this is Rob.
recorded in that meeting was rock hard empathy. Just
That
so-
is, yes, that is accurate.
All night long.
So the next thing I was trying to show, now that this will actually, do things now, was that Congresswoman Maxine Waters showed up at the protests, and spoke. So
Yeah, that's hot. Did you guys catch that?
No,
Holy
I didn't.
Shit.
I
Well,
didn't.
Well, listen up. Check it out.
Because I could not sleep.
Thank you.
I could not rest.
I feel you.
I could not be satisfied
Yeah.
that another young black man has been killed
Another
by
one.
police.
Yes.
And that Dante Wright did not deserve
To die.
to be killed.
Let her speak. I'm so sorry. Let her speak.
And so I'm here to say that I stand with you.
Thank you.
I stand with his family.
Thank you.
I stand with everybody
It
who
means a
cares
lot.
about justice.
Yes.
And we cannot be still.
Yeah.
We cannot be satisfied
We cannot
until
sleep.
we get justice
Yes, Mama.
for Dante Wright.
Yes.
I want to thank all of you for being here every night. I want to thank for you to defying the odds and putting yourself in jeopardy
Thank you.
by being here, because you cannot take what is going on any longer in this city, in the state, in this country.
Well, yeah.
And so
Thank
I
you.
want you to know that there are many in Congress who feel like I do.
Okay.
And certainly I'm not the chair of the Black Caucus, but I know how the Black Caucus feels.
Thank you.
I know how the Asian caucus feel. I know how the Latinx caucus feel.
You are our mother.
And so
of these
I
United
decided
States.
to come here and not make a big deal of it, but just to say, I stand with you.
Thank you.
I am not afraid. I am not intimidated, and I'm going to speak truth to power.
Thank you.
And so I want you to know that we all need to sustain this movement.
Yes.
We cannot stop.
Right.
Or we cannot hesitate. But we must say every day and every hour that we are going to persist, that this country recognizes what is going on.
Yes.
It is not only unjust and unfair, it is outright racist.
It is.
We are finding and seeing what is going on with our young people, with our young black people, with our unarmed people, with those who are losing their lives because of police who do not care about life. And I want you to know that I posted on Twitter and all of my platforms a look at what a police Glock looks like.
Yep.
And a taser.
Yes, ma'am. I saw it.
And
We all know.
I don't care if the police person, the woman, resigned. I don't care if she lied.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, she did. They always lie.
Yes, and we're not going to take it.
No
we're
more.
Not going to accept it.
We're going to burn it down.
We're going to make sure
That's
that
what
we
we're
do
burning it down.
everything that we can to say
I'm gonna burn it down.
stand for justice. We're
Thank
going to
you,
fight
Mama.
for justice.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
all very much.
Yes, thank you.
So stop,
Thank you, Mama.
please. Thank you. So you guys know what the rub here is, right?
Oh, that wasn't even the end. She went on to talk to another reporter rather than just addressing the crowd. And she said that the protesters need to be more confrontational. And now Marjorie Taylor,
No,
Space
that's not the
Lasers
rub.
Green. Okay, what's the rub? Go for it.
She said, and I quote, "I hope that we are going to get a verdict that says guilty, guilty, guilty." That's the rub. That's what everybody's shirting their Levi's about.
Well, right, but she also specifically talked about the Dante Wright case too. I don't think that this is all said and done.
That
if
is
they get
no,
a
that
guilty
that
verdict.
is why the judge scolded her. That's why the defense asked for a mistrial. That is the rub. As a member of the House, that she is considered as a lawmaker, and it is in their minds whether or not that precludes her right as a citizen to express her First Amendment rights. It does seem to preclude her from declaring the guilt or innocence of a person who's facing criminal charges before a verdict has been reached.
Well, the beautiful thing about a mob is that technicalities won't sway them.
It's not a technicality, though.
Well, I mean, it's not, to me, it doesn't really sound like something that's going to be influential enough to actually cause a real mistrial. It's just influential enough to get someone to say that, yeah, I can call.
Well,
a
not to
mistrial
mention,
because of
they've
it.
been told for 27 days now since the jury selection started, do not listen to the media, do not listen
It's
to
not a
elected
matter of.
officials.
And this
it's
lady
not a ma-
says guilty,
It's not a
guilty,
matter
guilty.
of.
How's that really going to affect me when the evidence is what it is?
It's not a matter of what the jury hears. It's not a matter of what it's not a matter of what happened and what she said and how it relates to the case at hand. That's not what they're taking exception to. It's that a lawmaker cannot declare a person guilty or innocent, you know.
Well,
Just-
right, but I mean, she's not. She was just saying, I hope that we get the verdict we need. Guilty,
She
guilty,
said,
guilty.
yeah, and that is exactly taken to mean that she believes that he is guilty. So therefore, they can say that.
Right, but
the
she's not
process
saying
has
that
been
he.
tampered
I don't
with.
think she's undermining. I don't think she's undermining the process at all.
Well,
I think
neither
she
did
can
the
say whatever-
judge.
Have any
Right.
with the case. She's not.
Hey, I'm not playing the heavy here. I'm just stating the reason why everybody's shitting their pants over
Right.
this. And this isn't over, because the Republicans have also threatened to
I wanted to get through the rest of this first, but that being, well, maybe not the rest of this, but I want to skip to where she's talking in front of the news camera rather than to the protesters, because she was
go for it.
Believe it or not, she was more blunt with the news camera than she was with the protesters.
Yeah, go for it. I just wanted to, I didn't mean to jump the gun on you, man, but like,
no, you're good. I actually want to talk about that. Fucking, who was it? Kevin McCarthy and Space Lasers Green?
Yeah, probably. Yes. Space
Yeah.
lasers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Somewhere in my desk, I have plans that I drew up while I was in the Army for space lasers.
It's secret. Keep it safe.
I'm not doing
Black lives!
What would you like to see happen this week here? I mean, this has really been
Well,
just,
this is a very difficult time in the history of this country. Despite the fact that we know that people of color have been killed too often, unarmed young men, in particular black men, have been killed. We know that we're now coming to the end of the George Floyd trial, and that I suppose the closing arguments are going to be made on that case coming Monday. And we're really just almost at the beginning of what is happening with our young man, Dante Wright, who was killed, and that we have to persist in calling for justice. We have to let people know that we're not going to be satisfied unless we get justice in these cases. And so I just could not sleep, I could not rest, I could not be satisfied without coming here to let the family know, and the friends know, and the people of this community know, and all those who have organized for justice know that I stand with you, and I'm going to stand not only with you, but continue to fight in every way that I can for justice, for justice.
What's your opinion of the police reform efforts that are being discussed right here? And do you think that any of them have any hope of being enacted through maybe this Congress?
Well, I am not happy that we have talked about police reform for so long, and it's not only this piece of legislation, but it's been years. I confronted the police chief, Daryl Gates, in Los Angeles years ago about the killing of Eula Love and about the chokehold and about all of that. We've been fighting for so many years for reform, reform, reform. And so, yes, I would like to see the bill in Congress pass on police reform, but I know that the right wing, the racists, are opposed to it, and I don't know what's going to happen to it, but I know this: we've got to stay in the street, and we've got to demand justice.
As a black man, despite all of the efforts, I feel like nothing changes. And George Floyd is waking so many people up, yet nothing has happened. Despite the rhetoric, like what needs to happen that's different this year than all the years before?
We're looking for a guilty verdict.
And that's
We're looking for a guilty verdict.
That's what they
and
try to
we're
get a
looking
mistrial
see
on.
if all of the talk
Is that this
took
happened in
place
front of
and has
media
been taking
cameras.
place after
And
they
that's not an
saw
answer.
What happened to George Floyd? If nothing does not happen, then we know that we've got to not only
Already know.
stay in the street, but we've got to fight for justice. But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that is say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away.
And not just manslaughter, right? I mean,
Oh no!
Oh,
not
no.
manslaughter. No! This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder.
Congresswoman, what happens if we do not get what you just told? What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
What do you think about this curfew tonight?
I don't think anything about curfew. I don't think anything about curfew. I don't know what curfew means. Curfew means that I want you all to stop talking. I want you to stop meeting. I want you to stop gathering. I don't agree with that.
Are you going to stay out here?
Oh, no, I'm not going to stay out here. I came here from Washington just to be here to make sure that I let my voice be heard among all of those who have been putting so much time on the street. And so I'm hopeful that the protests will continue. Thank you.
Where does police accountability come from?
Okay, so
Well,
I mean, I got to the point that I wanted, though. Stay out in the streets. You heard it from your congresswoman. Well, she's not my congresswoman, but.
Yeah. If anything, she just gave the defense a nice platform to begin an appeal. That's my opinion. I don't disagree with anything she said. You know,
I mean,
I say?
I
She's
don't
Maxine
think.
Waters. I mean, she helped us. She's been vocal. She's been supportive. She's 967 years old, and old people say stupid fucking shit, man. Myself included. You know.
I don't even think that she was that far out of line. I guess I didn't look at it as the perspective of a lawmaker declaring someone's guilt, but everybody has an opinion on that.
Yeah, but you take an oath. They're sworn in. You know, I mean, it's not the end of the world, so they have an appeal, right? I mean, she hands the right everything they need to crucify her on a daily basis. So there's really nothing she could say that they're not going to try to eviscerate her about. And that's been the case her entire
One
career.
thing that I have to say about her is that for being 967 years old, she actually seems to still care about justice, and she doesn't give a fuck what the right wing thinks about her.
She's old
Not even a
school.
little.
She's old school. She's an old school civil servant, man. She believes in serving. It's not her right. It's not her proper place among society. She's not part of the ruling class in her mind. She is serving a constituency, and she takes it deadly serious. And she doesn't give a damn who she pisses off doing it. You know. And I think that her age affords her the ability, after 4 years of listening to Trump say things, whatever the fuck he wanted, no matter the outcome, we're gonna shit our pants because Maxine Waters used the word guilty. Yeah, fuck everything.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm holding my comments until I know what the verdict from the jury is.
Well, I mean, does it matter? What does it matter?
I mean, yeah, okay, so like here's my thing. Those deliberations shouldn't have really taken any more than them walking into the room and being like, so he's guilty, right?
I'd be surprised if they deliberated for more than a day.
And I think it's gonna be a guilty verdict. I'm actually really impressed at the prosecution the state put together against a cop, if I'm honest about it.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I think that I don't know, man. This is fuck. This almost needs its own show for me to fully get it all out. But
I'm sure there will be one. I'm sure there will be one.
Yeah,
I'll summarize in short by saying this: even if they give him a guilty verdict, it won't be because they feel he's guilty. It'll be because they want to avoid any possible blowback. They don't want to be none of those 12 want to be responsible for the whole world's watching. The whole world is waiting for it's warm. Nobody gives a fuck about COVID. They want to break shit. We all know it.
And it's really funny how much more radical I guess I am on that than I was last May. Don't get me wrong, I jumped for joy when the 3rd precinct was on fire, but I was like, I don't know, man, is that really the best way to get things done? But like, I'm seeing things not get done still, and I guess I'm just a little more like, well, first of all, I guess I'm a little bit more willing to admit that I shouldn't tell them how to protest. First of all, I've never had to live a day as a black man. I'll never have to live a day as a black man. But I'm understanding more and more and more where they're coming from. They've been fighting this fight the peaceful way for 60 fucking years and nothing's changed.
Yeah, a couple days, was it yesterday? They beat the crap out of a dude having an epileptic seizure.
It's gotta
52-year-old black
stop.
man.
It's gotta stop.
In the hospital. I have no idea what his condition is.
Sterling, what is that background?
Walking his granddaughter to
Just
school.
some graffiti art.
That's that looks like the gum wall in Ann Arbor.
It's the bathroom at the Rogue.
Ah.
They actually have an amazing fucking bathroom.
I like it.
Indeed.
That said, if I don't believe for a minute that at least one or two jurors didn't walk in there and go, you want to live with the outcome when they burn the world? No, fuck him. He's guilty. Fuck him. I'm not taking the heat for this. And then what? That puts the responsibility of anything that happens back on us. Because if we decide to burn shit, break shit, and fuck shit up, it'll be on us. We all look like assholes.
I mean, they have already made it clear there's going to be protests either way. It can be a happy protest or it can be a very angry protest, and that's entirely in the hands of the jury right now.
Mm-hmm. How can it be happy with that many police, that many National Guard, with that many sheriffs, that many state police, with that many volunteer citizens, with that many poorly trained volunteer citizens, with another 18-year-old dipshit who's got an AR that shows up and the whole entire Republican Party and half the country supports him because he killed somebody.
Two people. And
Can't even
injured a
think of his
third.
fucking name.
Fucking Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Thank you.
They wouldn't put out a
office.
Oh yeah, we will see a time where he sits in a political office.
He's gonna get a book deal.
Yeah, we will see a time.
I honestly expect action figures out of this country.
Yes, I do too. I agree with. Hadn't thought of that, but it makes perfect sense.
So when
you said out loud,
Mark Wahlberg is
God.
going to play him. I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, just oh my God, please just stop. Mark Wahlberg's going to play a 17-year-old kid.
no, it'll be Shia LaBeouf's comeback.
Shy would not touch that. Yeah, he would.
If the dollars were right.
Maybe.
He got me too, man. So we got to see if that shit sticks or not.
Hey, there would be a scene there that would be perfect for the Shia LaBeouf song then, because I mean, about running for your life from Shia LaBeouf, you know, like, here comes him playing Kyle Rittenhouse.
God damn it.
No, the shit my brain mashes up.
So Trisha, I'm glad that you would rejoin the conversation because it's your turn.
Right on. Just open my phone back up here.
You looked way too comfortable over there for about the last half hour.
Yeah,
Where's Don?
good thing.
Stepped out for a minute.
Yeah.
Something about coffee.
Yeah, that's what it was. Coffee becoming a thing. But for LGBTQ news, I've got two pretty what the fuck stories. First of them being Florida, of course, fucking Florida. They passed a bill requiring some girls to undergo genital inspections for school sports.
Whoa.
Not just limited to visual verification of genital shape, but DNA tests and hormone level tests to be imposed on little girls to prove that they're actually little girls in order to compete in sports. And this isn't, you know, this is completely fucked.
Wow.
This is borderline pedophilic.
Oh, borderline. No, that is.
Well, they're requiring their doctors to do it, but even so, still, I don't give a shit.
Oh, are they requiring the boys to do this also?
Nope. So it's
Okay,
downright
then
fucking
this is
sexist.
pedophile.
Well, I mean, there can be pedophilia against boys too, but
I
it's
get that,
downright
but this
sexist.
is-
Standing,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Fucking leave it to Florida, man.
It just
Oh
reeks
my
of the
God.
1800s. I mean,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Right?
How
like,
is that
what
even
the fuck
possible?
even is this? Over fucking weird people thinking that their kids are gonna get outcompeted in sports ball.
First of all, who the fuck thought this was a good idea? And second of all,
Wait.
who's other people that think it's a good idea?
Did
Right,
you say
how?
that? Did you say that Florida people are going to freak out over competition over who's going to molest their daughters?
That is not what I said.
Oh,
But
it could evolve.
no,
just kidding. That's a joke, by the way. If you think about it.
that was a very dark one. But they're basically pushing all of their kids into that position of having to, go get fucking inspected to prove that you're the gender you say you are. And it specifically stated in there that it actually wasn't being imposed against trans boys, only against trans girls.
See what? Why? What?
It doesn't make sense. Because if the
Right.
whole point is to, that makes no sense.
No, none at all.
Not from the standpoint that it's unfair, biased, or that it's happening at all, but wouldn't the whole point be like, take some of Don's elixir, so you can deadlift 9,000 pounds and then get on the girls' whatever team,
Right.
Shit. Damn. Yep. Don's elixir might help. Maybe
Don's
Don's
tea.
elixir will help with the insecurity level of these parents.
No, I don't think that's movable. It's
It's such a
immutable.
petty level of sports, though. I mean, it's petty, period. But Florida sports, I mean, this isn't even the Olympics. They're not debating the anatomy of the species, okay? Florida sports, college football, what is this, kids?
I don't know.
College, K through 12 and college.
K through
And
12 and
college.
college?
I mean,
PE sports?
probably get spanked right back down because of the federal mandate that was prohibiting,
That's got to be some kind of
prohibiting them from-
exploitation.
Well, yes, it would be if
Some
allowed,
sort.
but I don't see why, because it's already been, banned to discriminate against people based on sex for a long time, and the
This is
Supreme Court
clear.
recently confirmed, yes, this does include LGBTQ, because you cannot possibly be discriminating against somebody for being LGBTQ without considering their sex as part of that. And so they were like, yep, this absolutely applies to this. So will they get away with it? Depends on, I guess the parents or the kids themselves who are being put in this position. And, if you're
Still
gonna
past 77 to 40.
because,
Fucking Florida, man.
fucking Florida.
Florida.
Love the beaches, but
Yeah.
what the fuck is wrong with the people down there
Yeah.
that vote for that shit anyways? I know lots of
Oh my
cool
God.
people down there that vote otherwise, total opposite end of the spectrum,
So is this one of those situations where the House passes it, but the governor just lets it collect mold, or we don't know yet?
Give me a second and I'll check and see if that is noted here. It was the House passed it with a 77 to 40 vote, largely along party lines. Only one Democrat voted for it and no Republicans opposed it.
77 to 40. Well, that's fucked up.
So I have a meme that fits that, Dean.
All right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's cute. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Trisha.
I'm still scrolling through here to see if it needs to go to the state senate or anything to.
Okay, all right. So transgender boys, do they know the definitions that they're operating with here? Do they know what that
Probably
means?
not, because Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
We need to make sure you have a vagina to play
Uh.
this ball game, little missy.
They're
How
claiming.
How are we here?
Yeah, exactly.
How are we?
How?
And I'm the one on drugs.
Right? Thank you. But the druggies are the dumb ones. We're the bad people.
What?
The fuck? How?
Huh.
I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around it.
Right?
right. Like how can you honestly?
It's very clearly they talk about documentation is in a form of a birth certificate. They talk about a health provider's statement, and they talk about genetic or DNA or hormone testing, and they don't specify how. They don't specify how the examination should be conducted either.
From the sounds of it, they were wanting verification on multiples of those, and so what they were calling a health inspection would therefore be the visual.
See, this is a response against that argument, Tricia, that I mean, I've heard, and I'm sure you have too, that DNA doesn't prove anything.
Right, because honestly, you could have one set of genitalia being expressed and another set inside.
Yes.
You could have
You could be chimera.
genetic trisomies or quadrisomies,
Thank you.
even more in some cases.
And
you can
operate your entire life and even procreate, and guess what? You're not what you think you are.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you never know. So what are they going to determine then about anybody who has a sex chromosome trisomy or other form of polysomy? You know, are you just not allowed to play sports at all? Are we going to make an entire LGBTQ league?
Right.
What the fuck, people?
You don't hear about this shit in the X Games.
Listen, I don't give a fuck as long as you're not trying to take away Brittany's scholarship.
Wow.
Because that's what this is about, right? This is about taking away the birthrights of these upper middle class ski-doo dealership owners' daughters. Correct me if I'm wrong here, right?
Right. They're afraid their sports ball team is going to get taken over
Probably
by vast numbers of trans students.
Right.
Like, that would be great, but no. Like, most of these people in these areas that are calling for this don't even have any trans students in their school systems. They're just shitting their pants because they're finally aware of trans people existing.
Yeah, clearly.
And it's like, wow, you're bigoting so fucking hard.
Right. Well, I mean, the next story is not much better, and that's here in Arizona.
Really, yeah, it's really not any better. It's this credit goes to your new home state.
So we just knew that once Trump left office, there would be just there'd be winged unicorns floating through the air, and every rainbow, we'd be eating cotton candy.
No,
I haven't had any cotton candy.
me neither. Where's my fucking cotton candy?
Rainbows.
God damn it!
I love cotton candy.
I love cotton candy too.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
our entire reality would turn into a Lisa Frank coloring book, and look where we are.
that would be so fucking dope, dude. I would love it. I'd be right at home. However, kids in Arizona probably might not be feeling so at home.
Well, let's move on to worse news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worse.
Schools. Well, it's
still bad, but it's not like, let me see your vagina to play ball.
That was downright pedophilic. This is downright erasure.
Yes.
Schools will now need a parent's permission, a fucking permission slip, to mention LGBTQ people in history class in Arizona.
What? Why?
Shit.
Because they don't want to promote homosexuality. Arizona used to have a no promo homo law.
Like the fuck.
Right.
I found out this is a thing I should be that.
Well, maybe
I'll
be gay. Maybe I'll be gay today.
Right.
Don's mom and myself are old enough to remember being taught in a cautionary manner that, and told implicitly that we did not evolve from chimpanzees. So they were so concerned that we thought that we would. Yeah. I'm laughing. It's true.
I know. I remember being told that, but yeah, such bullshit.
So
Science deniers.
this is right along those same lines.
Yep. Yeah. Try to deny reality hard enough and pretend we bury our heads in
Just
the sand.
because adults try to shove bullshit down my throat when I was a child doesn't mean that because I'm an adult now, I can accept that bullshit they tried shoving down my throat.
Right.
Fuck all that.
Did you have any people in your class that were gay?
I had an uncle that was gay and I had a cousin that was gay.
High school, I'm talking, like in your graduating class or your friends group.
I did.
Nobody that came out gay, but yes. But
Same.
nobody that came out.
Same. So
I did, but we're talking late 90s where some people were starting to get more comfortable with that.
It was like the beginning, middle 80s where I graduated.
So just a general question to this group, and anybody feel empowered to answer. Is it possible? Is it, can a person know below the age of consent what their sexual polarity is? Does it matter?
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters, but yes, I think they know even at that young of an age. Yes.
Well, I can vouch for it. I'm bisexual and I've known, as long as I was aware of my having sexual attraction towards anybody, I was aware of it not being limited to one gender or another.
Yeah, I think it's instinctual and biological, as we've all kind of alluded to. Like, it's not something.
Yeah, I'm not questioning the origins. I'm saying
going to tell you how to do, but
think about the question
like
before the age of consent.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that occurs before man says it does. Yeah.
I think definitely before the age of consent that they would. Yeah. That individual will know what their preference is.
So now you understand the policy decision that that educators and others have to make. They have to legislate the communications protocols, the curriculum, the default, the standard language, the operating procedures, and all this constellation of machinery as it relates to the conduct, the sexual conduct of people who can't consent to sex.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's like they want to be like, we don't want to give them any suggestions.
When you don't, and by the way,
actually, they literally said that. Well, actually, I was starting to say that there used to be a no promo homo law. They repealed it in 2019 under threat of federal litigation, and that law banned sex education that, quote, promotes a homosexual lifestyle, portrays homosexuality as a positive alternative lifestyle, or suggests that some methods of sex are safe methods of homosexual sex.
Okay, well, 1 and 2 are automatically disqualified based on being, solely premised in a lie, because it's not a lifestyle. So we can knock that one right off the board. Okay, we can teach honesty, that it's not a fucking lifestyle. That's what some ignorant people in the past might have referred to it as, because they wanted to act like it was a fucking choice.
Yeah.
Dear listeners, before you think that I am red-pilled in any way or that I am a contrarian, well, maybe a little bit of contrarian by nature, have been all my life. I often will take an opposing view and examine it from that direction and challenge those around me. Doesn't mean I buy into what I'm proposing, but I think that
It's good to contemplate
yeah.
from a logical standpoint.
Now, would I teach my children? Sure. Would I do I approve of it being of education in school as it relates to homosexuality? I do. It's preposterous to think that anything that can be taught or anything that's indoctrinated is going to make anybody gay. And if it did, okay, cool, whatever.
Right. It's like
Maybe it may be that if we provided an inclusive and safe means in which for people to define their own pathways, gosh, we might end up with more gay people.
Well, the thing is, it's not
which
even
might lead to more happiness.
It's more gay people being comfortable enough to be
to be
honest
honest,
about
yes,
who we are
exactly.
and not feel the need to hide that for fear of bullying or getting ostracized from, social groups or
Or your
whatnot,
family
or your
even.
family.
Yeah.
That's the thing that they literally have tried to spin and say that, since the sexual revolution, we're just seeing more and more gay and trans people, like it's spreading or something. And it's like, no, that means people are at least finding pockets of society where they're comfortable being
who they
genuine.
are. Right.
And don't feel the need to remain in the closet. I know so many people who are of like your age group who, got straight married because they were fucking expected to,
right,
and had kids. And then after, people started really getting comfortable with the idea of sexuality encompassing more than just fucking straight cis sex, then, they felt comfortable coming out of the closet,
Yep.
That's the thing. We haven't had many years of gay people not existing. We've had many years of gay people being fucking oppressed.
Quiet, yes.
And being not allowed to exist for fear of being beaten, raped, tortured, fucking killed.
So the shitty part about this law is that if a parent doesn't give their permission, then they're excluded from these conversations, which can include history. If a LGBTQ person is the subject of a story, it can include anti-bullying discussions. That's a fucking problem if their bigoted parents won't give permission for them to fucking hear this shit, and then they're never corrected. I mean,
especially, even if you're taking, say, a political class in high school, you are being shortchanged if you're not learning about Harvey motherfucking Milk. You should be able to learn his story and the things that he fought for, and be able to understand that a lot of the fire that was lit under his ass was because he was a gay man, and have a full grasp of things like that. Like, there are so many historical cases, especially in the, recent decades, that are imperative to even understanding society now and why we are the way that we are now.
Dean, action item. Trisha, or for one of the Thursdays, we're going to talk about Harvey Milk.
Fuck yes.
Harvey Milk, because I have no
Right.
fucking clue who that is. And we do not have time for Trisha to go down that rabbit hole. So,
but we could actually incorporate that on one of the movie Thursdays, because there's a dope ass film that highlights like the best parts of his fucking career. It's beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Seconded. That notion is passed. Our next movie night watch along, or pre-watch and listen to a post-watch discussion, however it works out. Harvey Milk.
The watch
Milk is the name of the movie.
Actually, I'm sorry you weren't able to be there with us, but it went pretty good.
yeah, I mean, I wish we would have had more people on it to make more comments, but I mean, that being said, it didn't go bad. It just
Milk is available with a Netflix subscription.
Indeed. Or we could do it as a, Patreon subscriber exclusive thing and just, do it outside of social media.
And actually,
I was hoping that we would. I was hoping that we would be able to debut Don's OnlyFans premiere, his launch party on the Patreon as the first.
You're gonna have to set the price on that one, though, bro.
Got some work to do.
No comments. No comment.
Right.
Listen,
Roger that.
No.
Got
Forget.
some content to make.
Yeah, Trisha, what's the name of that movie?
Milk.
Oh.
Milk. It's on Netflix. Milk.
Yep.
Okay, heard. That brings us into our final segment then, I guess, right?
Yes.
I'm talking like I know what's going on.
WAP.
The WAP.
Wait, what?
The weekly WAP. The well-armed proletariat.
Oh, see, WAP is a whole different thing to me. I'm
I know, it
Italian.
inspired.
See, I thought you were talking about the song, but no, not even that.
No. The song inspired it.
Right up.
So this is probably going to be, honestly, the only time I talk about an AR on this stream because the ammo is overpriced.
Look at that sexy bitch. Ah!
It's the Ruger AR-556. Obviously, Don is getting a little too excited there. But I have a link.
I'd love to get my hands on her.
Well, Don has the special VIP patron only formula of super empathy.
Yes. I actually, what you see is you crush it up. We send you it in a crystalline form. You crush it up, and I can't tell you how exactly, but you ingest- and then 8 hours of rock hard empathy.
I've been down this road before, Don.
I know we tested
road.
it out together. I've
It's a
never
dark road.
forgotten. Those are part of the videos that I send Bezos.
So back, I have a question. This isn't 762, can't be, right?
No, it's
Yeah, okay.
556.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's why I was saying this is probably going to be the only AR that I fucking ever talk about on the weekly WAP because it's fuck finding 556 and fuck paying for 556.
But yeah, ammo's expensive, but that is, if you keep it clean, it's a good gun.
I mean, it's a Ruger, dude. Fuck.
You just got to keep it clean. That is the key. Make sure that you get all of the carbon out of there. Don't let fucking sand get in the barrel or in the breech. Just or in the fucking trigger. Just keep sand out of it.
Don't
Sorry.
go by the sand.
If you've ever seen Star Wars, you know how Anakin didn't like sand because it got everywhere. Yeah.
So when you go to the beach this summer, you don't have to Second Amendment it this hard.
No,
right?
no. I support your.
I would recommend an AK for that.
I support your right to do so. I just question your sanity if you're taking your AR to the beach.
I mean, right.
Right. You don't want to get sand in it again.
Yeah, come on, man.
Sandals.
Why would you do that to such a beautiful gun?
Yeah. That being said, we talk about these weapons. We show you these weapons. We tell you how much they are, where you can get them. But if you do not know how to use these things, do not be buying them. If you're buying them, learn how to use them.
I was going to say, don't necessarily not buy it if you don't know how to use it, but that should be the first thing you do before you ever use it is learn how.
Learn everything about it. Learn how to take it apart, learn how to clean it, learn how to fix basic level things. I'm not telling you to learn gunsmithing. Not everybody needs to learn gunsmithing, but learn about the rifle itself. Learn how to clean it, how to maintain it on a user level.
You must empathize with.
Actually, no empathy here.
No,
This is serious.
No, I just mean as far as cleaning and oiling, that is gun care.
Rub it down.
Make sure and make sure you know how to shoot it. Do not be like the cops. And I hate to say this because I really want to see America work. I want to believe in this country. I love this country. I fought for this country, but do not be like those poorly trained motherfuckers that we call cops and fight. And if you have to unload this weapon, unload 40 fucking rounds and not hit anybody. Okay. Go to the range.
I don't get that.
Go to the range. Zero your sights. Make sure you know how to handle this weapon. And then don't use it unless you absolutely need to. Don't go to the fucking beach with it. Don't go to the governor's office with it. You're being a fucking idiot.
You don't need it for Walmart. For Walmart, you just need bear spray and maybe a quick stab. Bad jokes.
That's only on.
Oh, that depends on the Walmart too, though. I mean, just the other day they were held up by one of these, and he drives to Tucson. Like, that's a straight shot, you fucking idiot. Oh my god.
You only need bear spray in the men's room, and
that's
it's only if they've had sex education about homosexual activities in school.
Oh god.
So how much is 100 rounds of 223 these days?
Oh Jesus, do I even want to know?
Can you even get like military surplus 5.56?
Yeah, you gotta troll. Yeah, you can get it. I don't know if I trust it.
These Doge gains? Yeah, you can. I'm just kidding.
Hell,
I'm watching it still.
Store in town still sell ammo.
1,000 rounds is going for $629 on the internet.
$629. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
I thought 1,000 rounds would be like $1,000.
Yeah, I did too.
You can get tool ammo, which is Russian, for 20 rounds for $12.99.
Or instead of buying it from these big places where you're getting cheap ammo, find you somebody in your community. I guarantee there's a gunsmith somewhere in your community that makes ammo.
Yeah, true. They're reloading. Yep.
And have them reload your fucking shells, man.
Yep.
Some ammo is cheaper to do that than others. 223 actually is a pretty good candidate for that. 7.62 on the other hand is a little more. I mean, if you're buying Russian surplus ammo that like I am, you're not really going to save any money repacking.
All right, who is the thought police coming for?
Yeah, who's got the fuzz on?
Dude, it's always me.
Okay. Oh yeah, you live by that fucking station, don't you?
Yep. Right. Fire department.
So James said, "Don't spray the guys at the hot dog stand."
Yeah, please don't.
And Natalie said, "Learn how to keep the safety on."
Yes.
That too.
I'm actually a big proponent for open carrying swords to settle your beef with, because the sword is not gonna hear me out, Dean. I mean,
dude, time out. I got arrested in Flint for carrying a 13-inch knife.
Listen, I think that is fucking unconstitutional. I think that we should be able to, if we got beef, if it really comes down to it and you feel that fucking strong about it and you're gonna do a drive-by, how about you just fucking duel each other with swords? Because at least the sword's not going to fly 300 yards into a school and kill some kid playing on the playground. Or
Knife laws.
Somebody's house.
Knife laws were aimed at minorities, by the way.
What?
Knife laws enabled the targeting of minorities, by the way.
Well, then let's get rid of them. I think knives should be covered just as firmly under the Second Amendment as rifles are.
Right?
It says the right to bear arms. It doesn't specify what fucking arms. Granted, there are Supreme Court cases that specify, like, one in particular says we can't have 10-gauge shotguns because the Army doesn't use 10-gauge shotguns.
Shot an 8-gauge once.
People at Walmart now and go in with like a bow,
Yeah,
with
fucking-
quiver of arrows on my back.
We're gonna settle this old school.
Right.
But yeah, depending on the ammo you're using, for the love of God, dude, if you're using 308, repack that shit.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Was when we went shooting for my birthday, I had to pick up a couple of boxes of 308 for a friend, and that shit's like fucking $1.25 a round, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, fuck all that. Plus, money that you give to somebody in your community to repack ammo is going to your community instead of going to some fucking corporate douchebag in Florida.
Yeah, I agree with that. 308's hunting ammo, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, these guys fire their guns like 6 times a year.
Well, I mean, but 7.62 by fucking 5.1 NATO is 308.
Yep.
Totally different grain, right? So,
It is a different grain, yes. But, I mean, generally the same arms will shoot both.
Oh, shit. The economy.
Does anybody have anything for closing tonight? Closing time. I'm kidding.
Please familiarize yourself with your rifles if you have rifles. If you own weapons, know how to use them, know when to use them and when not to use them. Please
get trained.
Get vaccinated. Get outside. Exercise. Clean the house. Hydrate.
If you can't get vaccinated, stay the fuck away from people.
Yep.
And I mean, things are looking real bad, but try to
take your vitamins.
Try to just take it one day at a time, guys. It's there's a lot of shit we got to watch out for.
Don, you're a gift.
Thank you.
A national treasure.
Thank you.
Thank you to our current Patreon subscribers. You help make this possible. Maybe someday, you know, we'll get bigger and we'll be like Unicorn Riot, but us.
Never know. Maybe when we get some decent, you know, equipment and travel funds to go to places and get live coverage, that would be dope.
Yeah. Oh, there's two things that we totally didn't talk about, actually.
Oh,
what?
Adam Toledo and the school shooting that wasn't a school shooting.
Oh, son of a bitch. Let's cover it. First and foremost, Adam Toledo. Say it with me. He was 13.
He had his hands up.
I gotta go to bed. I'm so tired.
He was 13 and he had his hands up. There's no justification.
And I don't want to hear any of the bullshit about, well, he had a gun. Okay, well, he had very clearly thrown the gun, if there was a gun. I still haven't seen any proof that there was. But if there was a gun, he had clearly ditched it. And he had his hands up. Even if he had a gun, it was unjustified. Unless he was pointing it at the cops intending to shoot them, which I seriously doubt for a 13-year-old.
He was 13. None of this matters. He was 13.
Right. It's fucking murder by cop. Again.
And I've been a little preoccupied, honestly, between fucking Doge and fucking and the Chauvin trial and now the Dante Wright push for justice. I haven't had any time to look into what was going on in Chicago, but I know there was mass protests the day after the body cam footage came out.
40 cents.
Loading up for 50.
We're ready. We're ready. 6 a.m.
Listen, that's coming in the closing statements. We got one more thing to talk about, I believe. Correct, Rob?
Yes. Trisha, I think you actually probably know more about this than I do, because didn't you tell me about it?
My brain went, which story?
The
school shooting that wasn't.
Basically, the cop shot himself. The media spun it as a school shooting, like one of the students shot the cop. Cop A shoots his own dumb fucking self. Cop B shoots kid. Commits murder.
Damn.
Does anybody know what the kid's name was? Because, I mean, this is definitely a say his name moment.
Stand by. Everybody Google, because my phone's shitty, so get on Google.
When did this happen?
This week.
Yeah, it was the Knoxville shooting that we talked about.
Okay. Right. I have been wrestling with dragons myself.
Anthony Thompson Jr.
Anthony Thompson Jr.
No parent should ever have to wonder if their kid's going to come home from school.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of the mainstream media just ran with it as a school shooting, and some of them have retracted that since. I'm not sure about that being across the board, because last I looked, there was some complaints about some of them still not having retracted the fucking story. But in case anybody didn't know, it's complete bullshit. That dumbass fucking pig shot himself. And his buddy was a fucking reactionary who just fired at the kid. Like, how can you be standing next to another officer facing a child and hear the gun crack next to you? That fucking loud noise, that's coming from next to you, not across from you. How do you go and just shoot the kid across from you? How do you not understand directionality and be trained enough to not shoot a kid when a gun goes boom next to you?
Because he probably jumped. He probably got scared.
And if you're that fucking scared, you shouldn't be doing this job. You shouldn't be.
Listen, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that.
I know.
I'm simply telling you, most probable scenario, this fucking cop.
I think there's a little bit more to it. I think the kid probably jumped because almost certainly the kid was scared.
Oh yeah.
And then the other cop was just like, "Oh, movement," because he was scared.
Yeah, because they're trained to be fucking scared. Scared of everybody. Everybody's got a gun. Everybody's going to kill you. Everybody within 21 feet. What is it, Dean? 21 feet?
21-foot rule.
Look it up. It needs to change. All of this is happening during one of the most publicly viewed trials that we've ever seen for this type of shit.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing in my memory, and I don't remember the trial, obviously, but I remember, actually, I don't remember the trial at all. I remember the execution vaguely being talked about on the news, and I know that they were going to cover it, but Timothy McVeigh. And that's obviously not this kind of shit. That's
no,
a terrorist attack.
The only thing that I can think of, any trial that is close to this magnitude, that is on the same wavelength as this, would be the it happened in LA. They pulled him out of the car and beat him.
Rodney King.
Rodney King. And I mean, I don't remember that, but it's the only thing that I can even begin to bring to mind that is anywhere close to what is happening now, and the cops are still killing people.
I don't think Rodney King would have made it out of that encounter alive today.
No, not at all.
The thing that was, that was horrifying to see back then. To see it get even worse instead of getting better. Dude, there are not words to express how much that angers me.
Yeah, it invalidates Don's service.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
And yours.
I carried this sign, and a lot of my veteran friends, left and right leaning, pointed out to me that, this kind of seemed like a call for attention, using the fact that I'm a veteran as a call for attention. But I carried this sign during the protests last year that said exactly what was on my mind. I did not serve in the army. I did not deploy to Afghanistan and fight the fucking Taliban so that American citizens can get killed by cops in the streets of the United States. And that's not to say, like, if there's an armed suspect holding hostages in a bank, obviously I think that the SWAT team should be involved, because at that point, they could have fucking body armor and machine guns. It's happened before.
But traffic
cops, the fucking school cop.
I don't know why a gun was even in the building.
Well, the gun was in the building because of the fucking school shootings in Colorado in the 90s.
I know.
That's why the gun was in the building. And it's breeded this fucking just...
Yep.
I don't even have the words right now. It's frustrating.
It's created an atmosphere that you're listening to a left-leaning, very red podcast that advocates the purchase, the handling, the education, and the stockpiling of guns and ammunition. That's what it boils down to.
And it's not just guns and ammunition that I'm advocating. Get out there, learn jujitsu, learn fucking judo,
Carry a sword.
And organize with your comrades in your community. Organize. Be ready.
If they rip your leg, if they rip your arms off, kick them to death. If they rip your legs off, bite them to death. If they tear your head off, stare them to death. And when they kill you, curse them with your last breath.
That said, no offense to any Marines listening, but I still think it's a water army. I don't get it.
Hey, actually, some good news. I haven't done good news in a while. A former Marine has
learned to read.
No, I mean, I think it was required with it. And my Marine brothers that are listening, if any of you are listening, first and foremost, I do actually have the utmost respect, but I got to give you shit. A former Marine has made crayons ready to eat. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
You have to be making that up.
I'm not making that up. Get on
Capitalism,
Google.
man.
Get on fucking Google.
I hate this country. Oh my God.
Capitalism is like that uncle that's wrong about most things. He's crazy and he's in and out of jail, but he's right about a couple things. That is what capitalism is right about.
Uncle
Ready to
Cletus,
eat
the
MRE
aliens
crayons.
did not abduct you. You went to prison.
Well, it's a matter of perspective, Don.
That's fair. That's fair. I do have
As all
one last
things
thing
are.
to say. One last closing statement. Ladies, gentlemen, and all of my non-binary comrades, listen very close. If you are on the, how do we say it? Because Trisha says it's Doge. I hear that there's like 3 schools of thought on how it's pronounced. Listen.
I've called it Doge forever.
Okay.
Doge.
Okay. It doesn't matter what it's called. You guys know what it's called. Synchronize your watches. It is now 11:25 Eastern Standard Time on April 19th, 2021. Tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you've got the money, $100 into the fucking cryptocurrency to the moon
or more.
And this is not the opinion of the For We Are Mining podcast. This is simply Don Hughes being chaotic.
This is not financial advice.
And this is not financial advice. I am poor. I live with my mother.
And I live in the RV that is parked in the driveway.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah.
But just saying, turned 25 into like 280 so far. So if you got 100 to throw on it.
Blow that Doge.
And if you don't, it's okay.
It's okay. It's really okay.
Right.
I don't really care what you do either way, but it'd be fun to see.
What if, yeah, like if you're down with gambling in manners that could, you know, stick it to the man.
The target is 69 cents on 420.
Nice.
We're gonna
And, we're at 40. So, you know, there's some money to be made if we win.
Now hold though. Don't just dump.
Don't just dump. Hold so the ones that have to get in late in the game can still help your comrades.
This is the ape army here. Okay. It's like 12 monkeys. Rewrite history with Doge.
Blow that Doge. Blow that Doge tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Let your fellows in.
That doesn't sound as bad as blow that doggy tomorrow.
Oh yeah, don't say that. Don't do that. We don't advocate.
Two different Googles.
No, we'll leave that to Florida Man.
Man.
Oh,
How is
God,
Florida Man
Florida
doing?
Man.
Has anyone checked on Florida Man lately?
No, but he's checking on other people apparently.
Make sure that he has the genitalia he claims to have as Florida Man.
No. We're past
Why
that.
not? That's what they want to do to little kids.
I don't care what they want to do. They're perverts.
Teach them how it feels to be on the receiving end. I don't know. Assholes. Florida. Sorry.
Anyway.
We love you. Thank you for joining us for this shit show.
Florida Man attacks Ferris wheel, gets beaten by onlookers in video.
Oh hell yeah. Living his best life. Wow.
Oh man.
So Thursday we have a Eugene V. Debs IWW Socialist Party. Fucking.
I'm excited about this. I might bring, if Mom is off work while we're still streaming, I might bring Mom in to talk about the IWW.
Oh yeah.
Mom has some very
unique perspective.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Indeed. I'm pretty excited about that episode, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hold the door.
Hold door.
Hodor.
Hodor.
Hold the door.
Too
Thank
soon?
you all for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful night. And we'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah. Love, peace, and hair grease.